Hello, everybody. We need to start doing jazz hands.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Snap. I'm gonna go find us on the thing because otherwise I can't read any comments. So
Okay. Hello, Miss Bonnie, Sandy, Linda. Oh my goodness. They're having their own little conversation in here.
Nice. Oh my
Very
God.
nice.
Hey, there's the notification right there. So
I
that's
was getting
good.
ready to say it just came through.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Do you know anything different about the notification?
I didn't look at it. I just touched it.
Well, I changed the name of my show.
Oh, I saw something, but I can't see. Once you open it, you don't see that frame anymore.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'll have to go back and look at it on like after it's done. So
Hey, Geneva. Yeah, I took off the nameless show name and just put my name.
There you go. Right, the Paula show.
It's the Paula 1237 Vintage Finds. That's what I put.
That's right. You need to move your camera just a smidge.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry.
We can see you.
I keep moving around too, so that doesn't help much. Hey, Marianne. I know I'm so fidgety.
Is that what it is?
I have, some anxiety issues. I need to just calm down.
You need one of those wiggle pillows on your chair.
That's right.
So who I see? Linda and Sandy. Yeah. Hi, Geneva. Geneva, how is it up there in the frozen north?
I was wondering that too.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hey, Bonnie.
Right? Exactly. I'm like, not that, I mean, we could just sit here and ship. That's what we could do tonight.
Right?
All you'd hear is my tape gun. I don't know if I could concentrate enough. I probably could, but
I'm sure you could, but I know what you're saying. I'm like that. I'd rather be more focused on what I'm doing.
Well, yeah, since I'm shipping the 12 days of Christmas, I was cross-referencing 14 invoicing spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Now I'm down to 13 because I had one thing like the night before from here that was a Sunday night thing. And then I started the 12 days. Oh man. So yeah. And then I had a couple people who bought the next Tuesday.
Right.
But those are almost, yeah. I only have a Facebook person left from that. So
that's good.
We're getting there. What did I tell you? 21, 22?
I think that's what you said. Now, how many total did you have, Becky? Do you know?
Well, I mean, I wrote down.
Over there.
I'm trying to think. I wrote down 42 at some point, but then I don't know if I wrote Yvonne and my mom.
Right.
And yours. And the other person I don't invoice because that was my invoices.
Right. Oh,
well, I do invoice you, so you're probably on the list.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't invoice my mom and I don't invoice Yvonne because they're here in town. Right. And then there's no reason to do PayPal fees for that. So.
Right. True.
And then I have, and then we have somebody who mails something in. So they don't get a PayPal invoice either. So.
Hey, Claudia.
Oh, hi, Claudia. Good to see you.
Yeah. Happy New Year's, everybody, by the way.
I should have told Paula to get a hold of Sandy.
Who?
I don't know. Sandy said, Becky, you should have told Paula, hey, get a hold of Sandy. LOL.
About?
I don't know.
What did you do? What did you do, Sandy?
So, Sandy, why am I telling Paula to get a hold of you?
I don't know. What she's talking
about. Either. And yes, Happy New Year's, everyone.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. We go to Jeff's aunt and uncle's on New Year's Eve. So yeah,
about her invoice, she's saying. About my invoice.
Okay.
Well,
I know. Well, that's what we were just starting to talk about at the beginning was that we're working on it. She's working on invoicing. I'm working on shipping. That's what we've been doing. And I get a whole extra day tomorrow because post office is still closed
Exactly.
for New Year's Day. So, oh no, hers went in the spam. You know, it does that sometimes. Silly invoicing emails.
Yeah, it does.
So,
yep.
But yeah. So I'm ready, almost ready to go to bed, quite honestly. But I've been staying up late for so long, almost a week.
Yeah, that's true. You have.
And then we stayed up last night, which is fine. I'm a night owl. I do that, but when you stay up till 12:30 and then you got to drive home, that's a different ball game for me.
Yeah.
So
true.
But yeah, you know, I mean, my understanding is if you don't get an email, your invoice in an email, you should be able to go directly to your PayPal account and log in, and it should show up. It should say you have a request for payment.
That's what I get. That's usually how I'm notified. I think I'm just constantly checking, especially if I know I owe somebody. Yeah. I'm usually checking, but a lot of times it pops up and tells me I have an invoice that's
because I had that from a friend of ours from Alabama. He's like, I don't think you paid this. And I'm like, well, it's kind of hard for me to pay it. Well, you didn't send me a link. So, and it never popped in my PayPal because I'm constantly in my PayPal invoicing and shipping. I'm like, well, you best send it again if you want me to pay you. So
that's right.
Then it showed up.
Hey, Mr. Jeff. Great to see you back in, Paula.
He's downstairs.
I was going to say, he hasn't seen you today.
We did our last Christmas today, so there's that. Christmas is finally done for 2022.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. And we had the great pleasure of watching the Broncos game again.
Oh.
You know, well, they just can't do it. I mean, they scored. At least they were in it for a while, but
right.
Poor Jeff, diehard Bronco fan, and they just can't accomplish anything this year. So
it happens that way sometimes.
This is probably the worst year in my memory of him ever rooting for the Broncos. So
wow.
Yeah, Sandy, you finally got yours done yesterday. I know. See, that's the thing.
She had frozen waters why she couldn't do hers. You know, when they had that big freeze, she just got her water back a few days ago.
Wow. Yeah. Well, and since we had that Arctic freeze, we've had 2 more snows last week before Christmas. Another one after Christmas. We got, 2-3 days ago?
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. It was 60 degrees, started raining, and then it turned to snow.
Oh, no.
So then we got slush, which all turned to ice.
Yeah.
And then snow accumulation on top of that.
Yeah.
So that's finally just gotten off the sidewalks in 2 or 3 days of nice warm weather, high 40s into the 50s.
Right. Well, I guess for you it is warm.
Oh, wow. 4.5 days without water. Well, I mean,
it was.
I can totally empathize with you because we've done that when we've had drain issues, and we've gone a week to 2 weeks without. Well, we could turn on the water.
It wouldn't go out.
It just accumulated in a different area.
Right.
So we tried not to use the water. So kind of the same issue, but not exactly. So so no laundry, no dishwasher, no showers. And then,
isn't it amazing how much you miss that stuff when you don't have access to it? Everything you touch, you go, oh man, I don't have that. Don't have water. Don't have electricity, you know.
And we would try to minimize the flushing of the toilets, which is great when the kids were younger. So but you know, you got to wait till you can get the appointment.
Yeah.
Or you can pay for it, one of the two, occasionally. And sometimes you're like, oh, I think we can wait a few more days before we call them. So, but
right. Wow.
Yeah, without water, it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
so.
that is. Oh goodness, Claudia, that's terrible. With her daughter and her work.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's kind of like I think that's like a OSHA hazard.
Oh yeah. I mean, see, that was the biggest part because generally what we would do is just leave the house.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff would go to work, kids would go to school, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to go run errands all day because I know there's toilets all around town that can flush.
That's right.
So, and then I'm like, everybody go to the bathroom before you come home. And
Yeah.
then,
And hope for the best.
yeah, I mean, what are they doing? Are they like, having to get in the car to run down to 7-Eleven or something? What do they do? What did they have them do? Because, I mean, if I'm working, that would not fly. Because I'd be like, every hour, I'd be like, bye, going to the bathroom. Be back in a half an hour.
Right? I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know, because I know now for working conditions, I know that's a big problem with OSHA. So I don't know. Because I know before we've been at work and the toilets would break, and you couldn't use any of them. After so many hours, then they had to send us home. So
Yeah.
shut
Bonnie
down.
had pipes broken too.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. My mom said, she's like, oh, I didn't turn on the water to let it drip, but it wasn't frozen, like it didn't burst. It wasn't enough to make it all the way at the beginning. So
Oh wow,
a
Bonnie.
blanket. I know. Wow. And I mean, we haven't even really started winter, quite frankly.
Right. 68 here today.
60. We were overcast, so maybe in the 40s.
Yeah. Frozen, not broken, she said. Okay.
But in yesterday it was probably close to 60. It was gorgeous. So,
and it's supposed to be pretty warm here all this week. So, but we're supposed to have some bad weather, maybe move in tomorrow.
Oh, it's supposed to be snowing right now, is what my forecast says, through 3 o'clock this morning, tomorrow, into the morning. Wow. So that's why Barb was going to go to Denver. Well, no, she was going to take a load towards Alabama, is what she was going to do.
Yeah.
And she has horses, so she decided that her person who feeds horses for her does not
right, Sandy,
does not do it in the snow. So she's like, I can't go.
Oh wow.
If if they can't feed my horses, so there's no reason to go. So, but she's talking about now, like Martin Luther King weekend. So it's only 2 weeks away, quite frankly. So that's not too bad. Hopefully there'll be a better stretch of weather for her then. So
hopefully so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a busy week though, this week.
Yeah. What's going on this week?
Well, I mean, like, so the first of the month, Wednesday, I have board meeting for the lodge.
Oh, okay.
And we get to undecorate the lodge from all the Christmas. So there's extra with that. I'm trying to think of what else is going on. Something we're going with something with Mom tomorrow. Jeff still doesn't have to go back to work till Tuesday. It's not. Did you just check, Jeff? Good to know. No snow yet.
Thank you, Jeff.
More. See, and that's what I think. I think we're just going to be one band of weather after another, all the way through February. And once we hit March and April here, at least it's warmer when it snows.
Right. Oh, okay. Good.
So, like the next day, it warms up enough. At least it's the roads are clear. As long as you shovel the sidewalk, where the sun can get to the pavement, it melts everything.
Right. Well, that's good.
So, but yeah, January and February are going to be fun.
Oh yeah.
Because I think we've had more moisture this last month and a half than we had, I don't know, half the summer.
Exactly.
So
that's what I was thinking. We've had a lot of rain, I know, since actually the end of summer through now.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of rain.
Well, it rained 3 days ago. I'm like, why is it's raining in the winter? It's unheard of here. It doesn't happen. Huh. So, and then that makes it that much worse for the roads. And we live in a neighborhood that they don't come all the way down because we're a dead end by the time they get way down here. So they only plow through where the school buses need to get through to the neighborhood school.
Oh, wow.
So they plow a little bit and then they turn around and go out of our neighborhood. So they never plow down here. So we still have snow and ice snowpack on our street. And where all the big trees shade the street. So there's Edward. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, Edward.
That's right.
Happy New Year.
I wouldn't either, Sandy. I wouldn't be cooking.
I'm not cooking until next week. I don't blame you. Go on a cooking streak.
Yeah. And I get to going and doing stuff here, and I'm like, okay, I did a lot of stuff at home today. Where are we going to eat dinner? Because I'm not making dinner now. We've been
Where
working
are
all
we?
day at home.
That's right. Right.
So, yeah. But hey, we all made it. 2023. Imagine that's going to be a hard one to say.
Yes.
Hard enough because 2022 would come out 2020 for a long time for me.
Oh my gosh, me too. That's funny you say that. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
It took me forever to remember to put 2-2. I kept putting 2-0, and I'm like, what is wrong with me?
I know, like that was 2 years ago.
I'm behind.
Yep. So yeah, what are we? I mean, that's what I'm catching up on this weekend. Is I have 2 or 3 invoices for shipping that are still outstanding out of, like I said, 43 orders over my 12 days of Christmas, which is amazing. So thank you everyone who was watching, rewatching, for being timely on that. It's really awesome that I'm able to, I got the invoicing done, and then I have to cross check it all and make sure and check off everybody paid and make sure everybody's paid ship. And then I'm starting to ship. So that's where I'm at. So, and I'm halfway through shipping, which is pretty quick. And I mean, it's not too bad.
I mean, seriously, I think for, especially having 12 days worth of selling, that's a lot. That's a lot to do, especially in a row. Even though you tried to do your invoicing every day. But still.
And then I got behind in the second half of it. So it took a little bit longer to catch up on it. But yeah, I mean, on the last day, we had 28 people make purchases on my last day.
There you go.
So, and then a cumulative 44 people purchased altogether throughout the whole thing.
Right.
So yeah, that's really cool. It is.
It's great.
It was fun. So
it was successful. So successful.
Yeah. My mom's like, we're over there for Christmas, and she's like, it's really weird not having you to listen to every.
Right.
I'm like, well.
Yeah, Bonnie, I'm working on them. I still got a few more to do. Yours is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So yours is one that I have to do yet, but I'm it'll get there, trust me.
Yeah, Sandy, it is a lot of things to ship. I mean, the good news is that I tried to plan it so that I had a lot of smalls, so that basically everything is in under a 12 by 12 by 9. So even if that's where I'm at so far, so it's working pretty good. So
right, well, that's good.
Those dang magazines, though.
I was gonna say, how did you do those? Did you have the poly bag, or what'd you have?
Well, because most people who have magazines had other items. So I have the 12 by 12 by 9 boxes, and what you do is you have your box, you put the magazine like this in, and I'm packing under it and over it, and the magazines fit in because they're like 13 inches, but they fit diagonally in that 12 by 12 slot. So, and most of it, I priced out a few of them, if somebody had a lot of magazines, because they're heavy.
Yeah, I was going to say, those are heavy.
And even if I priced out media mail for just the magazines and books, and then regular for the rest of it, it was still cheaper to put it all in one box.
I bet. Yeah.
So, and that's easy, and it's less packages for me, less finagling for me, less labels.
Right.
One less thing to get lost in the shuffle of who gets what and where and in which box. So.
Amen to that.
You lost the next few days. Oh yeah, that's what my mom was saying. That she's like, oh, I really would like to. We'd be talking to Becky right now. I'm like, you are, Mom. But yeah, that's why I think we need to for sure schedule a chat for. At least for Sunday night. I think at least once a month would be a great way to go for Sunday night.
I think we should, and that's what Becky and I have been talking about, was doing one time a month on a Sunday. We'll just have a chat and not sell, just talk. And if y'all got something to say, of course you can say it.
Yeah, quite frankly, I love selling. Don't get me wrong. However, right now I would like to get for sure caught up. Because then it just feels that, you're done and it's gone and start all over again. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a great time to be able to bring up topics if we have stuff that needs to be addressed or anything like that. So 4 boxes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I haven't had time. I mean, there for a while right before Christmas. Just like, what'd you get now? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I have to open it to see what it is.
I have no idea.
Well, and then his brother and the wife were sending stuff to our house to give to his mom for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
So I opened up something from Amazon and I'm like, I didn't order this.
Like, whose is this?
And then I went, oh yeah, they said they were going to send stuff for their mom.
Oh,
It would have been good if I would have got a specific item or something.
right.
But
I never have anything to say. Right. Right, Sandy. Sure.
yeah. So
yeah.
But so I mean, it might be nice at the beginning of the month because I throw that out there just, to throw around because I have a board meeting the first Wednesday of the month. I have Benton meeting second Tuesday, board meeting second Wednesday, and then I have the Depression Glass Club is third Thursday. And sometimes the 2 seconds and the third, so they fall in the same week.
Right. Right.
Depending on, where the first of the month starts.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't happened for a little while, but it usually is supposed to spread it out. But that first week, because I have 2 meetings for the lodge within a week of each other. So it wouldn't be bad to have one little less thing to do. So,
well, I mean, I was going to kind of talk to you about that too, about what weekend would probably work best for you.
Mm-hmm. The end of the month just seems less hectic to me. I don't know why.
Well, then let's plan on
you
that.
went on Trisha's channel.
Christmas Eve.
Nice.
Oh, you was on her channel? Cool.
Oh, fun. See, and I have to catch up to a bunch of that stuff too, just going back and looking. That's what also is nice about shipping is I just go looking for YouTube stuff, throw in a couple things and just listen to it in the background. So I kind of catch up on some things, just have something so it's not, super duper quiet.
Right, right. I like a little bit of background noise, whether and usually it's because I'm listening to something, whether it be a sale or whether it be something, a documentary or something I'm listening to.
Yep. So did you sell on her channel, Sandy? Oh, just chatting. Okay.
Just chatting on.
Oh, cool.
Fiona came on too. Dang.
Wow. Where we missed it. So I was trying to think where we were Christmas Eve. We went. Christmas Eve we went to church with as much people that were here in town.
Right.
And then we went over to his sister's. She had pizza.
Denise
and then as soon as we came home, I sat and wrapped Christmas presents till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't do anything on YouTube Christmas or Christmas Eve, even watching.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was actually Christmas Eve. I was with my own family. Well, Christmas Eve day, I was getting things ready. Then Christmas.
Oh, cool. Wow, everybody was there.
Came on. Gee whiz, we really missed out, Becky.
That's all right. Now I know what to go look for while I'm shipping tomorrow. I watch.
There you go.
Yeah. Well,
that's good.
So I suppose we could have people on to chat too if you wanted to.
I was wondering about that, and I was thinking that too, that we should just invite people to come on.
Because I have my subscription thing now. Not that I don't know if we can do it on. It wouldn't be from your channel then. It would have to be on my channel if we do it that way. But I can have up to 10 people now.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me unless it matters to you. Okay.
So, but I mean, can you imagine having 10 people? I've never even been I've been on a Zoom with a lot of people, but that was still so odd at the beginning.
Yeah.
And they just wanted you to mute unless you had a question. And then you had to push the raise your hand button. And they would call on you and then you'd unmute yourself. And I'm like, I just want to talk to everybody. I don't want to just sit here and be talked at. So
Right. So that might be a good thing. I mean, I think that would be good to bring some people on if y'all want to do that. I mean, I think it'd be kind of nice. That way you're not listening to just us all the time. You had it for a year.
It's so amazing, Paula.
Do what?
Fiona opened packages that she'd had for a year. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
What did you say about me?
I just said, well, we're so amazing.
We are,
I'm
aren't we?
sure everyone just wants to listen to us all
Yeah.
the
Just
time.
to hear us ramble on.
I mean, at least it's the two of us talking back and forth. It
This
was
is
me
true.
just talking to myself for 12 days and everybody missed that. So,
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
so.
Well, it was a lot of fun to do. I mean, obviously, it's not something a person can do every day. I mean, if you had nothing else going on in your life, and I still think that would be a challenge, but
Right.
you know,
So, yeah,
if
for
we had
sure.
nothing else going on,
Showed and told. Denny's
oh,
done showed and told too.
Sandy,
Right.
done showed and told.
I got these. I don't know. Can you even see these? Hang
Oh,
about.
yes.
There we go.
Oh, I like those.
So I got those at Kari's Craft, her last show before Christmas. One of the
Oh, how
artists.
nice.
They're so light I can't even feel them on.
Exactly.
So,
I like those though. Those are
yeah,
nice,
it's been
nice.
weird because I've sat down and they kind of like pushed up a little bit because they are longer, but
Yeah.
they're so light I forgot. I'm like, what is that? What am I feeling?
What is it in my side of my neck?
Yeah. It's hard to fall asleep without me. Geneva.
Gee whiz, Janine.
That's what my friend Kathleen says too. So I know. I guess I mean, I don't know. I'd start reading a book. I'd probably start falling asleep. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, if you're tired anyhow, and then you're listening to somebody, and the voice is soothing to you. Obviously, you'll go to sleep.
That's why I put on certain YouTube channels when I go to bed as well. I'm very well aware of that fact. So
there you go.
I just don't want to listen to myself to fall asleep.
Right. Right.
So
yeah,
there's just a few channels that I really like to listen to because it's something that's interesting enough that they're talking about that I don't have to see it.
Right.
So then I'm not like, glued to the screen the whole time.
Right.
So, yeah. Oh, that's funny. Well, I mean, Nutritia's cat's been getting up and she was on there today. They're on there. I think they're still doing like a whole book marathon today. Miss Pat and Jan from
You're still doing that?
Karen. They were still on when I was looking for this.
Holy cow.
Yeah, they're like 9 hours or something.
How you doing?
So, Mallory, good to see you. That's the other thing. Because Stephen wants to have a sale where we do okay, let me finish one of those sentences.
Right.
One, we did last Tuesday with Stephen. Since I have the subscription now with StreamYard. We can stream on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time.
Right.
Which I thought went really well because we kind of experimented with that last night.
That went really well, in my opinion. I thought that was wonderful the way it worked out. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I thought, and it was fun, a lot of fun too.
Well, that's like our real life Fenton people that are at conventions and shows and stuff a lot too. And not that YouTube isn't real life. I just know a lot of those people from a different area. And the Facebook people don't want to come to YouTube. YouTube people really don't want to go to Facebook, quite honestly. You prefer whatever platform you prefer, and that's fine. So if we did it at the same time, Stephen would really like to do a sale that we have it at a different time of day, so more like a pop-up once a month where we do that crossover StreamYard to Facebook.
Right.
And he's like, when is Mallory available? Because Mallory switched shifts, I think, and we just haven't been able to chat and stuff with her a lot.
Switched jobs. I think she talked about she switched jobs or something, got a different position at a job, a hospital or something she was doing.
Oh yeah, I know. I think she switched just shifts, but I'm not sure.
Maybe it was. Okay.
There's Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn.
Yeah. Hey, Marilyn.
So yeah, I'm like, well, I don't know. When would be a good time that people would like to have another, to have a sale? Because it would mostly focus on glass. So for Stephen and I, so he was thinking sometime on a Sunday, and I'm like, oh great, let's do lots of stuff on Sundays, Stephen. But so he's like between church because he goes to in Alabama they go to church in the morning, then they go to evening service on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So he was talking about somewhere in the middle of that, and I don't know. But like between 1 and 6, somewhere in there, I think is what his open hours are. I think they go at 6 or 7 again. So Mallory's working from 7:30. Is that 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesday through Friday.
Every Monday and Sunday. There you go.
You're off every Monday and Sunday. Wow. And every other Saturday. Well, that's just easy to remember.
Yeah.
Oh.
What a nice schedule. That's good, Mallory.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, and not that we want it to be, just because Mallory can't, but there's people that have been watching us on a normal basis, and then things change, schedules change.
Exactly.
And things, so his thought process was, if we did it during a different day, a different time of day, then maybe we would be able to cross some of these other people that don't like to be up super late, especially like East Coast.
Right.
It's hard to do. I know, because even Steven, he's like, it's 1 o'clock. I'm going to bed. I'm like, yeah, I understand.
Right.
So it's just hard to make it where everybody is, can see something. So.
Which hospital are you working at?
Oh, okay.
What are you working at, dear Mallory, in West
Virginia?
The
largest in West Virginia. Wow.
Is that the one in Morgantown?
I thought that's where she was before.
Well, it might be.
That's where Angela is.
Oh, she works there too?
No, but Angela's in Morgantown.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But that's where I met up with her.
That's probably the one.
So, but
nice.
So yeah, maybe we'll do a poll or something somewhere. What time of day would be good
to do a glass sale?
Yeah.
That's
so
what
I mean,
yeah,
I mean, and Facebook is used to everything starting at 5 p.m. Eastern and going for 4 hours.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's any day of the week. So
yeah,
Midwest. West Virginia University Medical.
That's the one. I was thinking that, Mallory. I couldn't think of what the name was, but Ruby Memorial, that's the name of it. Yeah. WVU Medicine. Yep. I know that one.
That town, there's a lot of the university buildings when we were driving around in there. That's a big campus.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to live on that campus. That's a hot mess to get around too.
It most certainly is. It is a little hot.
And I wouldn't want to walk it either, for that matter.
You might get run over.
Yep.
For real. Yeah, yep. I always thought it was so screwed up the way they had it. And I'm like, why they got this like this? So messed up.
Well, and we have
not very friendly.
Yeah. And we have what do they call it now? We're used to calling it UCCS, for University of Colorado Springs, but it's really part of the Colorado State system. So now it's CSDU or something. I don't know. Oh, but it was always like these buildings at the top of a hill, and they've just kind of bought. They're all down the hill and out and spread out down to the highway and the interstate and everything now. And I'm like, wow, that's a real sprawling campus now. So they have at least they have a bus that they do a lot of shuttling people around from parking lots to different buildings and stuff.
Right.
So,
which is nice too.
But yeah. And all of our healthcare systems that was state run is now run through the university program.
Oh, wow.
So you don't want to go to the university where they're all teaching everybody. You got to go to the other system. There's one other system in town. Wow. But everything that was city run, everything that was, what was the system? Memorial. Yeah, everything that was city run is now run through the university, through the state. Yeah.
Right.
So anyway. Right. Well, that's it. Because that's what I'm saying about the sprawling campuses with that too, is they started putting fences up down the medians because these kids, being as smart as they were running across 3 and 4 lanes of traffic and then standing in the median and then running across 3 or 4 lanes of traffic.
I do a lot of that here too. And I'm like,
we're going to kill somebody doing that.
This is how they get hit. And then you hear somebody being hit and then sure enough, they were
jaywalking. They have barricades on one side. a big median in the middle, and then they have this almost like a fence to the property, like the property is fenced in, so there's really no reason for them to cross anywhere else.
Right.
I'm like, just put a crosswalk over
That's what they should do.
the road.
That's what they should do and be
I don't
done
know
with
why
it.
it's such a because the kids don't like going all the because it's like a mile from the intersection, one intersection to the other. So that's why they were trying to cross at different places.
Yeah.
To save themselves some time wherever they park to. So
right.
Well.
That's right, Mallory. Take your town back. Take that town back.
I just found the irony of, you all are supposed to be smart enough to go to college.
That means nothing.
But here you are playing Frogger across
right
45 mile an hour lanes of traffic. But okay.
It means nothing. I'll tell you that. Just because they're smart enough to go to college, they just don't have the common sense or they lack sense. One or the other.
Yeah, so they had to put a fence up down the median.
Just to keep you idiots from crossing.
From crossing. Why didn't the student cross the road? Because there's a fence in the median.
There you go. Right.
Right, Randy? I mean, that's it. Well, and then the poor neighborhoods that they've sprawled out into. The kids, they park everywhere, and they have to now they have, you can't park here signs, and half the neighborhood is now like community, like they rent it out to students. So it's, however many kids they can cram into a house, and then they have 10 million cars. And
absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I know. I mean, I love my kids to death. Mine wouldn't be doing that unless it was an emergency. Right. But I can understand why it's such an inconvenience, and it doesn't make any, just put a crosswalk over, a little walkway.
Why it's an inconvenience for them, especially if they're trying to get to one class to another and it's across the street.
Well, they're basically going back to wherever they park their car, where it's not paid parking back in the neighborhoods, or like in the church neighborhood parking lots. So, but
true.
Yeah, they're just babies still, basically, at college.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they might not think so, but
yeah, but they are. They're still youngins. What we call youngins.
For sure. Right?
Yes.
And so, but oh goodness. But yeah.
So, what does everybody know? Anybody know anything? Want to talk about anything?
What else? Yeah, what else is going on?
Sick of hearing this yet?
What happened? What happened on the first day of the year?
Yeah. What happened today? Anything good for anybody?
I wanted to go down to the Ark because they gave us a $10 off a $30 purchase for New Year's Day.
Nice.
But I just didn't have enough time to go. I have to ship. I don't have time to go spend another hour or two.
I know.
Going to the
when that's in your head, that in the back of your mind, you got all this work to do. The last thing you want to do is leave the house. Or I do.
Well, yeah, and since it's supposed to snow again, I'm like, I'm just going to get it going and have it done. So hopefully by Tuesday morning, I can just load up the car and be done and out. So, but, I had a thought. Darn it.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, and this might be oversharing. Well, but so people know, I don't take any money out of people's payments until my shipping is done and out the door. I mean, I just don't.
Right.
So it's also a motivation for me to have everything done and taken care of, because I don't feel like I can take out money that people have paid me until I've taken care of their order.
Right.
So, and that's just a personal preference I have.
Right.
And,
So what now, when you're saying what you're saying, what are you talking about? Like, you sent an invoice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they pay it.
Then they pay me.
Okay.
And then I did, because I had all my invoicing for the products and I had all my invoicing for shipping.
Oh, that's right. You had two. That's right.
So it's all sitting in PayPal. And then because I can pay my labels through PayPal. So then my money's not going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth either for charges. So I just take it out of my PayPal balance to pay all my shipping labels. And then when everything is shipped, then I've done my job and I can get paid.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do the same thing. I know
So
what you're talking about. Yes. Yep, I do that too. I just leave it set there.
Yeah. Oh, she saw a bear. Wow. Bear tracks. Oh, wow. That's pretty significant.
Good for you, Mallory. You picked right.
And right, we watched that game. That was
What a
something else.
game. What a game. I have a son-in-law who is so into the and my daughter, both of them, they're crazy fans for Georgia Bulldogs, all of Georgia of anything.
Go Dogs.
Yes, I know. I see. I was laughing at him. Like, look at Becky trying to get that lingo. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. What's okay? Go. You finish, and I'll tell you why I say it the way I do.
Okay. And they were like so excited when this game is going on. And of course, I don't sit there. I just don't get into it like that. Once in a while, I will. But I wasn't yesterday because I had too much other stuff I was doing. And but when they was down and they won, I was like, well, Happy New Year's, because the game had just ended, I guess, from the Bulldog side, just prior to that. And I'm like, well, Happy New Year's.
Yeah, it was a pretty late game.
Yeah, they didn't answer me right away. And I'm like, well, that's unusual that they didn't answer me. Then all of a sudden, Happy New Year's. And they was telling me what was going on. I go, oh, you was watching that game. I forgot that y'all was involved in that game, you know.
Yeah. The poor kid that missed that field goal, though, for an Ohio at the end.
Poor kid.
That was rough.
Oh, my gosh. I was like, they shouldn't have lost that game.
No.
Shouldn't have lost it.
But,
and so I feel bad for the kicker. I'm like,
yeah, that's what his uncle was saying. They're like, oh, man. They have to put that kid on suicide watch is where they went with it. Because they're like, he's going to have that for the rest of his life.
Right.
I'm like, it's just, but then you're like, you know what? It's just a game. It's just one kick. It's a hard, high stress situation. It's not the end of your life or your career. However, it was hard. So
it was tough for them.
Wow. Where on earth, what part of the country do you live that you're getting bears on your porch, Linda?
She must be in the northern. I think she is.
Oh, man. I mean, we see them. We won't see them now. We see them in the summertime more because they go through the trash cans. But we saw 4 deer yesterday on the way. Because it was warm enough that they were down lower altitude.
Right.
Because it snowed and it's covered up the stuff.
Oh yeah.
So where it was melted down here, they could still get to anything to eat. So
right.
But I heard all sorts of weird bird noises this morning. I'm like, it is not spring. What are you all doing? So
they're like, hey, it's warm.
Right.
Everybody get out. Let's warm.
Exactly. They're like, it's super nice out, guys.
Come on.
That's right, Sandy. Dang computers. But okay. So back when we were in high school,
yes,
we had youth leaders who both had graduated from University of Georgia. And they had a parrot that they had taught to say, "Go Dogs." So sounding like a parrot, that's how we always heard it.
Yes.
A Southern accent through a parrot. Definitely just go Dogs. We know what we're talking about.
There you go.
Don't. So yeah.
Right. I ran out of gas there, man. Got it. Yeah, that's what she's in Vermont.
Wow.
She's in Vermont. So that's why she's seeing bear up there. You there? Uh-oh. I think Becky's froze a little bit. Not sure. She'll be back. But yeah, that's why you're seeing
yes,
bear.
I know I froze. Sorry. I made sure my Wi-Fi was on and it probably.
It's probably better now. Because you was freezing up there, glitching just a little bit.
Yep. It's supposed to be snowing here. Just saying. The weather.
Right.
Yep. So, but yeah. What were we going with that else? So yeah. We didn't have any other topics. I think we finished all the invoicing, the shipping, the football, what people did today.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm just ready to get back to a regular scheduled program, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
So Jeff
Yeah.
gets tomorrow off still, and then he'll go back. He gets a week off between Christmas and New Year's. So
That's good. That's good. He gets a week there. Good for him.
well, it's because they closed the college campus that week
Yeah.
because it's open all those other weird little holidays.
Right.
So
That's
then
why.
we take all those little holidays and put them between Christmas and New Year's and give them a full week off paid
I don't
to
blame
close
them.
the campus. So
Good for them.
there's okay.
Randy.
Probably sounds just like Miss Paula, huh, Randy?
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
I've been feeling pretty good, Sandy.
Yeah, give us an update if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll share it with everybody. When I went back for my test results from the x-rays and everything that they had done.
Yeah.
And the guy, the chiropractor, he's not the guy, he's
the guy, the man.
The guy. But he was like, okay, well, let's go over these first before we, do anything or come up with a game plan here. And I'm like, okay. So he starts showing me the x-rays, and at the base, at the very top of the back of your neck, I have where you should have vertebrae that go down, right? That kind of have a hole in between them that kind of go into between each vertebrae, right?
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I have mine at the top straight up instead of going down. So he was like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, well, hello.
You're quite unique, apparently, huh?
Apparently so. And I said, oh, really? And he goes, yeah. He said, you see this? And I go, yeah. And he goes, that is like so wrong. And I'm like, okay.
That explains a lot.
That's what's wrong with me. Now we figured it out. I said, okay, so what do you mean? What's wrong with it? I mean, tell me exactly what you're talking about. And that's when he told me it should be down, not straight up. And he said, how that happened is beyond me. He said, I said, well, is it because I did get hit from behind? Is it because of something else? Is it a defect?
Yeah, I mean, was it pre-existing or yeah?
And he goes, I think it's from being hit, but I can't say for sure. And I'm like, well, I'm not trying to get you to say, yeah, that's what it is. I'm just trying to figure out how that happened. If it's,
and if it can be changed, and if so, what would that process be? Because that sounds pretty significant.
Well, he said it is. He said as far as that, and like when they do the x-ray straight on your face, they want you to open your mouth, stick out your tongue, and it shoots straight back, right? So they can see the
so you can see all that back there. Yeah,
exactly. He said it should be, I have a vertebrae and it's like going straight back through my mouth. That should be straight. Mine's clear over to the left. And I'm like, now I do have scoliosis, which I've known this.
Yeah.
And I said, is it because of the scoliosis? He goes, I don't think this is because of that. And I said, okay, well.
You like need your part removed and put back in.
Right. Just move it over.
It's like a Lego.
Just take it out, put it over here.
Power down.
Right. Like a computer. And so I said, okay, so what can you do about that? And he goes, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet if that can be fixed. I said, okay.
Well, who do I ask if you don't know?
He said, oh, damn, I had a crick in my neck. He said, he's going to attempt to start working on my neck as far as adjusting it to see if he can get it to move back to center, this part first. Yeah. As far as the vertebrae being straight up, he said, I really don't know what we're going to do about that yet. He said,
because isn't your spinal cord through all those wherever they're doing this and stuff then too, right?
Right. And I said, well, how could it be sticking straight up? And he goes, well, look. And I said, well, no, I see it, but I'm like, how's that possible?
You're like, I'm not blind.
I see it, but what caused it? You know, he goes, I honestly, he said, it's very, very strange. He goes, but it is significant and we need to work on it. So I said, okay. So he started working on me. And each time I go in twice a week right now, and get adjusted. And it's jank.
Right?
That's right.
Just pop one of those suckers out. We don't need that one.
Right. So he's going to keep adjusting me, and he finally got some really good movement, I would say, in my neck. The
It's
last
hard
time
when it's hard because those muscles are
very,
just
very
freaking
tight.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. And they mess up when he's trying to adjust me, and he's like, okay, you're going to feel this. And I'm like, I've been feeling it, and him pressing on it didn't help any. And he was like, well, I'm trying to get the muscle to relax, and it's like wanting to tense up. And I go, yeah.
I need to send Caitlin over to you for a while. She can just sit and pressure point.
Right? Exactly. That would be nice.
And at least maybe if you did he make any other suggestions, like go to a massage to try and get some of those muscles to calm down and stuff, so that they're better for adjustments? Or
right. He said after he does the adjustments, then they have the deep muscle stimulation machine they put you on.
Yeah,
that kind of really digs in there, and works
the deep massage hurts like crap.
Yeah, it hurts a little bit, especially at first. It kind of does.
That's a good idea. Acupuncture?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you looked at? I
haven't checked into it
because some of the chiropractic, massage therapy, acupuncture, all that stuff kind of works hand in hand sometimes. So
yeah, maybe that might be something I might check into.
Well, next we'll send you to Hawaii. That's where Jeff's cousin is that practices acupuncture.
Oh wow! Well, there we go.
She's a nurse, and she's got her Chinese medicine certification for acupuncture.
Sorry about that, Marianne. I mean, I know that some of them can mess you up, and I'll be honest with you. I've always been against chiropractors only because I've got a bad back anyhow. I've had 2 surgeries. Back surgeries, and I've always been against them because I was afraid to let anybody really touch me. But I kind of got to the point too a couple years ago that I was like, I got to go see somebody because my lower back was out really bad, and they worked on me then and got me back going. So I trusted them. That just this particular one, I won't go anywhere else yet. But
as long as they don't want to fuse your spine, in your neck, that would be I mean, a last resort in my opinion.
It would be a last resort before I would go to that.
You can go to Mallory's equine acupuncturist.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, Mallory.
Right, Sandy? I know. Wouldn't be a bad way to go. Let's just head on over to Hawaii.
Let's just go, everybody. But yeah, so that's it. I'll get there eventually. Just might take some time, he said.
So I mean, but they're not like, oh, you need this or anything like super immediate.
No, nope.
Okay.
Nothing's
and there's nothing immediate. Broken hugely.
Nothing's broke as far as they can see. Nothing's broken my spine, which is good because I've had a fracture in my spine before, and that wasn't the case. So that was good. Right. I was happy about that part.
Okay.
So we'll just, I'll just take it week by week.
Yeah. Small progress is good progress. So.
Right.
Did you have to do anything with your car then at all?
I've got to get an estimate on it. I mean, I got to let them get an estimate. I mean, of course, it's the other person's fault. So, and they have the same insurance I have.
Then they should be making all. I hate insurance and messing with it. I know. It's just obnoxious.
So. Oh, they're so obnoxious. I used to work for them, so I know how they are. They're very.
It's just super inconvenient. I mean, it's all there for, quote unquote, our protection and in case of an emergency, and that's great. However, it's often a hassle to deal with and find the time to get all the answers that you need. So.
Yep. They are in it to make money. It's a business. So they can say they care about everybody and all this. It's a bunch of bull. Bottom line, it's a business.
Yep.
And they're going to make all the money off of us and pay out the least they have to.
Yep. Oh, I know what else I have to do this week is my plan was to go in and pull Christmas out of the booth. That's another thing I need to do this week too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So find some empty box. Well, they're in the car, so at least the boxes are in the car. I just need to pull. I was just waiting for New Year's Day because I put on a sale.
Yeah.
So I want to go in Tuesday, tomorrow, yeah, something like that, and just pull all the Christmas.
Yeah.
And probably pull a box or two to send off to the thrift store, just to get some new stuff, because a lot of the stuff I put out to fill my booth in the first place was just filler.
Exactly.
And it's been there for 6 months, and if it's not sold, and
it's time to move it out.
Time to move on. If it's not selling for me at cheap prices, it's not gonna sell. So
right, exactly.
I got stuff. Put some more out there.
Right, and that's the thing. You just have to keep rotating it, and like you said, if it doesn't sell, well, hey, we know next time. Hey, it doesn't sell for me, so
yeah. I was talking to one of the vendors I saw this weekend. She said she almost goes every day to her booth around town and just moves them around. And I'm like, wow, it's a little more than I want to do.
Yeah. But she probably doesn't do maybe as much as you too.
Well, she's got booths at just 2 places now. She used to have them at like 3 or 4, but yeah.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. Time to get out the Christmas, and I'll rearrange it and put some new stuff out. And then I got to go find the Valentine's boxes.
Yep, that's the next one.
Not very much in the garage with Valentine's, but there's at least one out there. So,
yeah, Valentine's will be here before you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Christmas was, here and gone.
Yep.
New Year's, here and gone.
Move it around.
Put in some fresh stuff.
Yep. So it's just a matter of once a week. I feel like is more than enough for me. I'm fine with that. So.
Yeah, you got.
I don't think people are going every day to the, to go look. So, but once a week, I feel is enough. As a commitment I can take on. So.
Right.
But there should have been a whole bunch of people. That one vendor that moved out with 9 booths, I did notice that at least 3 of them were already rearranged and filled up again. So now I'm wondering if those should have been vendors, because they get like first dibs to vendors. Mm-hmm. So now I'm wondering who moved where and what else is open. So it's probably wander around and see where everybody rearranged to and see how it all looks. So
right.
But yeah.
Now the booth you have now, you moved from one place to another, right? You did?
We moved out of one. It closed in April. That's
what I was thinking. Was it April or was it early?
Something like that. April or May.
Yeah.
And then in July, I went into the other vendor mall in town.
Right. Okay.
So I was down for 3 May, June, July, May, June, April, May, June, somewhere in there.
Right.
3-4 months I didn't have any vendor mall space going. So
okay. Now, do you think it's better where you're at now?
It's the only game in town that size.
Oh, then it has.
I mean, there's a couple small vendor malls, but they're so small, like you can walk around them in 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And some of them are more flea market-y than antique and collectibles.
Right.
So this one is called American Classic because it used to be American Furniture Company, and it's a big place. It's got a lot of square footage, so it's like the main showroom in the middle was all the furniture stuff, and then they had vignettes on one side, so they had like living room and different rooms kind of set up. Right. So there were some existing walls over there, and then the other half of it is their warehouse space that they turned that into vendor spaces as well. So it's got a lot of square footage in it.
Oh wow! So sounds big.
It is big. It's not just the walk up and down the aisles. You have to, there's a few places that are dead ends and you have to come back around again. And you have to know where you are.
Yeah.
So, but they have maps at the door. So.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. So I finally, in the last year or so, have gotten it pretty well in my memory, know where I am in there.
Yeah.
So, because we were going there more often because the other one was closing anyway. So. But yeah, up in Denver, there's, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least that I know of, vendor malls. And they're big ones, like
Oh.
Brass Armadillo. You've heard of that chain at all?
No, I've heard of it. I've heard other people talk about it. Don't know of it, but yes.
So that's like a big mega vendor mall.
Yeah.
And they have one in Denver, one in Omaha, one in Kansas City, two in the Phoenix area. Kansas City. Where's the other one? Oh, Iowa, in Des Moines.
Oh.
The other one. So yeah, so that's a big one. And then one's in an old grocery store. That one's really big. And then a couple other kind of smaller ones, but there and then there's another one in an old grocery store. Lots of like grocery store, like when the grocery stores used to move out and go into their mega locations.
Yeah.
But then they had like the smaller grocery stores. Those are the kind of things that people around here would turn into stuff like that, or they've turned them into event centers.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
yeah, that does suck. Darn, Mallory.
There's Mallory, when we met up with Angela, we barely had time to look at the mall, the main, well, where we were going to meet with her, and it was inside an old shopping mall. They had an antique vendor mall, antique store in the shopping mall, and if you didn't go in the right door, you had to walk through the entire mall to get around to the right place.
Like once you're in, you're trapped.
Yeah,
that's how they keep you.
Yep.
Good grief.
So right, but
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, mid-mod is quite popular.
Yeah,
for sure right now. Yeah, and I didn't even get to go in it because the time of day and how it happened, and it was so much further in than we expected it to be. So Mom stayed at the door because we weren't expecting to have to walk through the entire mall to get to it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So, and then the next thing is, once you've driven for 2-3 hours and you stop somewhere, then you're like, no, I need to find the bathroom.
Right.
And that was in the other section of the mall.
They had this strategically planned out, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So you'd have to go through all this.
Oh. Have a good night at work, Marianne.
Yes.
Glad you're able to listen. Yeah, well, if we would have known, like, it's because Angela was like, you should come in on this side, and I was like, I don't know what that means. And then once we got there, I was like, oh, now I know what she meant, and I didn't know where to look for that in the first place. So
right, you wouldn't know that.
Right, there we go. I know, I gotta know where all the bathrooms are. Super important to know where the bathrooms are.
That is, it's important. As you get older, it becomes more and more important.
Yep. So, and when we're traveling too, I'm like, if we stop at somewhere, it's either, okay, we got to find a gas station first because we've been driving for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Or you walk in the door and say, where's the bathroom?
Right.
And sometimes now they're like, we don't have one. And I'm like, okay,
right.
bye. Guess I'm not shopping.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them have done away with the bathrooms because, some places aren't in the best areas, I think, and they don't want the activity going on. So
it's odd. It's odd how that has evolved.
Yes.
So some places it just isn't as an excuse to not keep them.
Sure.
And others, I'm like, how can you not offer a restroom?
I know.
I mean, even one, Jeff and I drove through, it was, I think it was coming back from Texas. It was some little town, like the whole strip of downtown, 2, 3, 4 blocks, was all little shops, antique shops, different things. We go to the antique store, walk in. Well, and he saw the sign on the door that said no public restroom. I'm like, this is a tourist area. Yeah, you have a huge shop.
Yeah.
Where are we supposed to go? They're like, oh, like 3 more blocks down to the gas station. Yeah. I'm like, now that's okay, well.
Yeah. Then you're like, I don't even want to look at what the crap you got.
No. No.
Now you made me mad. I'm just gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, we should have a good bathroom map. We should end up creating.
There you go.
These are the good places to stop. These are
That's right.
bathroom-friendly locations.
Yeah, and it being clean's another big thing. My
Mm-hmm.
gosh, there's nothing worse than not only, okay, they have a restroom, if you want to call it a restroom, but it's so bad. I have actually walked in and go, oh, hell no. I'll walk right back out.
I
I'm like,
have yet
"Not here."
to turn down a bathroom.
Oh, I sure have. I had to on a few of them. I
I'm
was
like,
like, oh my God.
the alternative is not an option. I don't care how bad it is. But
Okay.
I mean, they haven't been that bad. But there's been some old school bathrooms I've been in,
Right.
you know, like old school. And I'm like, well, that's okay. Because
Right.
yeah.
I don't mind if it's run down as long as it's clean. My thing is the cleanliness crap. It's got to be clean.
There was one in Alabama when we were going across the state from Stevens to our friend's funeral that we all kind of looked at each other and went,
If that would have been enough for me, I'd be like, let's go.
and my friend Gail, I said, Gail, it's probably a good thing that you're blind. She's legally blind.
Oh
I
my
said,
gosh.
just go use it. Just use it. Shut the door and use it.
Don't inhale. Don't
There's nowhere else for us to stop because we were going back roads, cross country, instead of the major interstates. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
I'm like, look, it could be worse still. However, it was pretty rough.
Oh wow. Look there. Bathroom app.
Exactly. That's
Or
a great idea. And you can update them like, you know, like the gas station prices.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
We can rate it, you know.
I sure could. Clean? That's my main thing. Is it clean? Do you have toilet tissue?
Stop
Toilet
here
tissue?
only if you really gotta go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Emergency only.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't look, just use.
That's right. So, and there's other places now. I mean, there's some antique stores that in Kansas that we stop at so frequently now because they went from it was open all the time to they locked it and we're really not letting anybody in it, but the regulars they would let in there.
Oh yeah.
And then they're back to it was locked if you asked for the key.
Oh yeah.
And now they're back to open again. But there for a while we would stop and she'd go, "It's unlocked, go ahead." Because she knew
Right.
we were just heading there, you know, first. Because but yeah.
Yeah.
How silly is that?
Well,
you got to plan these things strategically.
I'm telling you, you do. I mean, on some trips, yeah, you do.
Well, Richard, welcome.
Richard.
Ireland. Amazing. Happy New Year. You're probably on day 2 over there. Aren't you ahead of us?
From across the pond. Hey, welcome.
No.
Welcome. Yeah, what time is it there, Richard? I mean, is it now Tuesday or Monday?
Monday? Yeah.
I lost a day there.
He's not a day and a half ahead of us, Paula.
Is it Tuesday? I meant Monday.
It felt like we've lost that day because of how the holidays have fallen.
Right.
And we have the delay with having the holiday on a Monday that's really on Sunday.
That's right.
So it's been strange. So.
No, I disagree too, Sandy. I think women are very nasty.
Yeah, because I had one lady once. I mean, this is the craziest topic to be on, but I was in like the old Route 66 where they have a lot of
hey Jay,
a lot of the tourist stuff, especially through Texas and stuff like that because they, you know, in Arizona and where the old Route 66 goes through.
Right.
And there's this lady, she said, I don't let people use the bathroom. I said, but if it's an emergency, would you let? I said, I promise. I swear. My mother would never let me live it down if I messed up your bathroom.
Right.
Would you, if I swear to you, would you let me use it? Because otherwise I'm like, I don't know if I can even make it back to the car at that point, you know?
Wow. Yeah.
And she's like, if you promise, I said, I absolutely promise I will leave it better than when I go in there.
Yeah.
And she said she had some lady, why she wouldn't let anybody use it anymore, because she had some lady who purposefully or accidentally had it all over the walls.
I mean, come on.
And she's like, I don't even know how. She said she had some condition that, like, if you're retaining fluids or whatever, and then they have to take the diuretic or whatever that's called, or the salt pill or whatever. So you don't retain water. She's like, I have to use the bathroom. And she said, and I went in there that day, and she's like, I said, oh no, my mother would be mortified if I did that.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I wonder about that situation, but yeah, women can be very, very nasty.
Oh wow. You more power to you, Jay. Just saying. I mean, we used to do that when the kids were little.
Yeah.
And stuff, but
yep.
Yeah, no. I'm like, I don't care. I mean, we're going to stop at a hotel later anyway. So, you know what? Wash your clothes, wash yourself, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I've never had any place that was that bad.
Oh.
However, I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah.
Just let me use the bathroom and I will clean. I will not make a mess. Right. I promise.
I'd be like, hey, just come check after me. I'll wait. If it's not clean, I'll clean it for you.
Right. And that's what my friend Barb, she was like, well, just pull over on the side of the road.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
No. But we did find a no option, which was really quite creative, I thought. As we were driving through one of the big cities, and we couldn't find anywhere. Like, there's no, like, some of those big cities, when you drive through for 45 minutes from one end to the other, there's not a lot of gas stations in that middle section.
Right, right.
And we were passing the airport, and I said, there's an airport, there's got to be a lot of big hotels. So I got off at the exit, and then I'm like, okay, there's the hotels. I just picked one with a great big giant entryway. The big port that you can pull under, like, for, you know, to check in.
They're not going to really go, where are you going? Can I help you?
Nope, they're not, because they had a restaurant and a lounge and a bar and a coffee shop and a check-in, and they have thousands of guests coming and going constantly. I pulled up, locked the car, said, Gail, follow me. And we went beelined across the lobby and right to the bathroom. I'm like, this is the new, you know.
Yeah.
You've got to find something. That was not a bad choice to have, and it was beautiful and well maintained.
Yeah, exactly. You know, them big places like that, they usually do. Mm-hmm. They have a nice cleaning crew and everything.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Delbert.
Well, that too, Sandy. Use the men's when you're desperate. That's right. Mm-hmm. So yes, but we have a lot of stories. We have a lot of time on the road, so.
Exactly. So you do have a lot of stories, you know.
So again, with our friend Gail, who's legally blind, she
bless her. It's a good thing I wasn't with her. I'd be going, no, Gail, come with me.
Well, I pulled up to the door because she was like, I gotta go. I'm like, all right, here's the door. You know, follow the signs, because she can't read the signs very well, but it was obvious that it was right close to the bathroom. But I get in there and they have that it was closed. On the one door, like under construction, it said use the one down the hall, which I guess there were, you know, some by the restaurant, and there were more down by the gas station, like the convenience store end. And so I went down the hall, found the ladies' room, did all the things, and I'm like, she's not in here.
Oh no. Poor Gail.
So I come out, I start walking back towards the car, and here she is coming out of the men's. Said, so you know that was the men. She's like, yes, but I had to go. And she said, by the time I figured it out, I was already in there, and I wasn't going to go find another one. So luckily there were stalls.
Oh my
And goodness. She shut the stall door. Some guy came in and out. And once he was gone, she left. But I'm like, just come out like this, Gail. Where's the door? You know, I don't know where the sign was. I couldn't read the sign. I mean, at least you have a really great excuse for being in the wrong restroom.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Poor thing.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, Delbert's coming out of his cocoon. Gonna be party animal now, huh?
I'm coming out of my cocoon.
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 Oh, autocorrect. So yeah, we
Yeah.
have a few bathroom stories.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So,
Yeah, when you're on the road traveling a lot, you will. You'll run into all kinds of stories, things you see, things you never thought you'd see.
Yep. There's a lot of times I'm like, I'm gonna stop here because if this is a good gas station. Then anybody in the car like, sound good to me. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Why are we stopping? Not because there's a good bathroom. That's why we're stopping.
Exactly. I was going to say, and you can kind of tell, like most places, like racetracks, QTs, places like that. That's what we have up in this area. Anyhow,
yeah.
And heading up north, as you get further up north, it might be a little. You want to be careful where you go, where you stop.
Yeah.
But usually they're pretty clean. There's
Well,
not too much of a problem.
Yeah. And I think that's what some of those bigger gas station convenience stores pride themselves on.
Yes, they do. And that's a big plus.
Yeah.
In my book.
Them and Buc-ee's. If you can find a quick enough parking space, Buc-ee's are a great place to stop too. Have you been in one of those?
Seen a Buc-ee's, no.
They're in your neck of the woods.
Are they? Where?
Well,
they're in Georgia?
I don't know in Georgia. I know they're in Alabama.
Oh, well, I don't travel in Alabama except
I know. Well, and there's one. We stopped in one in Texas, and I've been in 3. One in Alabama, one in Texas, and another one when Jeff and I were going somewhere, and I don't remember what state we were in when we stopped at it. It's like a mega experience. It's like a gas station, like a Walmart, like a mega store thing.
Right.
You've never seen one? I mean, the one we went to was awesome because it had a one-way in, one-way out. So it had a really great traffic flow to it. The one in Texas, it was a free-for-all.
Oh.
Everybody coming in, coming out, all different directions. It was awful.
Right.
But
yeah, I've never seen one of those either.
They have like a deli counter, a hot sandwich counter. They make those spice nuts hot all day long. They have a whole beef jerky deli counter in there. They have a wall of slushy machines and fountain drinks. And then they have a clothing department, a homewares department.
It's like
all the snacks, all the convenience food. Yeah, all the sporting goods, chairs and coolers and, anything that you could have forgotten or got broke when you're outdoorsing, you can pick up there, fireplace grills and pellets and everything. So, and then they have a central checkout and they have a checkout on each end. But those places are huge.
Huh.
So,
yeah, maybe they'll make their way over eventually.
Yeah. So, I mean, the one time we went, it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and it was much calmer. But the one we went to in Texas when we went for the wedding in October, that place was like mega, like Black Friday after Thanksgiving kind of busy.
Oh, wow.
At the gas station convenience store. It was crazy. Oh, yeah. Pizza, too. Yeah, and they have all their own lines of snacks and beef jerky and candy.
You brought something from Buc-ee's on your 12-day, didn't you?
Buc-ee nuggets. Yeah.
Buc-ee nuggets. That's what they were. Now, what are the nuggets? What are those?
Well, they're like I would say like a cheese puff kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And they do with different flavors, barbecue and ranch. They do all the savory ones.
Oh, okay.
Then they also take that thing and then they also do like caramel corn coating on them.
Right.
Not with cheese. They just, take the crunchy part and do that. Like buttered popcorn in different toffee, like a couple different toffee flavors. Right. Sweet ones.
Yeah.
So. And I got Mom peanut brittle. They have spiced pecans, which are awesome, especially coming out of the South.
Wow. Yeah.
Because you have all the pecan trees down there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready for that one, Jay.
No, no, no.
If it were convenient, there would be times that I would. I'm like, I really don't care. You gotta go, you gotta go. However,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I really want to do that in public or
No.
share yet.
Mm-mm.
So
Nah,
yeah.
I don't want to share a restroom with the man. I think that's just crossing the lines there both ways. And I think they need their own restroom. We need ours. And
Everything is they're I'm fine with like the one seaters being unisex. That doesn't bother me because then you don't have a whole long line of men or a whole long line of women for one room.
uh-huh.
If there's three people, there's two people, then you just take turns. It's fine because you're only one person at a time in the same thing. But other than that, yeah,
Yeah, not for me.
not for me either. But so and we were at Goodwill once, and the person who was cleaning the bathroom was just downright insistent on being obnoxious and taking their sweet time.
Right?
I told
Yes.
Jeff, I said, if I don't go, if I don't have an opportunity here soon, we're going to have a real problem. I said, but you can only clean one at a time. I said, look in the men's room. If it is empty, I am going in and you're going to stand at the door.
There you go. Yeah.
So, and that's what we did.
There you
And
go.
I'm like, I can't, this.
Yep.
I mean, you have, it's not like a men's room or women's room in your house.
Right.
So,
Delbert said he shares with one bathroom with his wife and it's rough. Right?
yeah. So, but I'm like, as long as it's not occupied, I don't care. So, but yeah. I mean, in some of the places, if they have a men's and a women's, they've turned it into like a unisex and an employees around here. So then the employees don't have to share with the public.
Oh.
Which that's been nice because then for sure their employees can still have a restroom because a lot of the homeless people go in there and just mess them up.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
So that's why half of them around here were still closed because we have such a homeless problem.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but anyway.
That's our bathroom stories.
Right?
Some of them.
You just never know what's going to come around them.
No, you don't. It's hard to say sometimes what you see coming and going.
Still better than the compostable ones in the middle of the forest or at the campground. So
true. That's true.
Some of those are rough.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I never liked using an outhouse at my grandparents. Hated that. But that's all they had for the longest time. And it's like you didn't have a choice. And you're like, well, you hold your breath, you get in, you get out. That's what you did.
Yeah, you don't dawdle. You learn that.
Yeah, in and out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's, that was only when I absolutely had to go. Couldn't hold it any longer.
Yeah. So, but yeah. I mean, our first house had one bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
When we moved here, we have 3. I'm like, wow.
Oh, wow. That's a big difference.
But then you still have 5 people in the house.
Yeah.
And it still can be a problem.
True.
Still not enough bathroom.
Depending. Yeah. It depends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When we grew up, we only had one bathroom the whole time. When I was growing up, that's all we had. Everybody shared that one damn bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh.
Delbert's comment.
But it's stressful. Like airplane bathrooms, I can poop in clothes.
Right? That's how our friends, I mean, that's how his uncle's camper is. Those are just those little bitty closets. Like you can't even bend over to pull your pants back up practically.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you better make sure nothing's in your pocket that you don't want to keep later.
There you go. Yeah.
So. Yeah.
All we ever had was one bathroom growing up, and it was terrible. I mean, my gosh. And it was like, if you're in there, it's your turn to get to go and take your shower and everything. You got someone right behind you rushing you up. Mm-hmm. Hurry up. Hurry up. You've been in there long enough. That's all we ever hear.
I think it's one of those convenience things that we're all just really accustomed to now.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep. Definitely.
Same as the whole plastic bag thing, because they're changing that all up today here in Colorado too. So
what are they changing?
Well, Walmart. So something along the lines of some of the big companies are supposed to be bag free,
right?
Or plastic bag free by January of 24.
Oh.
But Walmart decided to do it a year early.
Oh.
So as of today, officially, which apparently some of the locations started doing it a couple of days ago, they no longer offer plastic bags, one-time use plastic bags.
So what do they give you?
No, they don't give you anything.
Oh, so you have to come with your own bag?
Or buy reusable bags.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And or then along besides that, on top of that, here in Colorado, apparently people voted in, who knows why, a 10-cent tax, not tax, a fee, that if a store, if you want a one-time use bag, they'll charge you 10 cents to purchase it.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
And the state gets to tax that 10 cents too. So the state gets a tax on it, and you have to pay a fee to have a bag.
Oh my goodness.
And then on top of, so that's one issue, and then the other issue is Walmart getting rid of bags. So
yeah, that
happening at the same time.
Huh.
So, and then some of the other ones are supposed to go bagless by next year too. So
my goodness.
Yeah. So like the story with Sue saying that they charged her for a bag and they didn't get a bag and it was all over her porch on the delivery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but then people are like, well, where are we supposed to reuse the ones that for delivery? Because there are people that are just still getting delivery all the time.
Right.
They won't take the bags back.
Right.
So they're still being charged for bags. They can't give them bags and credit, kind of. So it's going to be a mess for a while, I believe. I think it's just a convenience that we're all just really used to.
Yeah, it is.
But like at Costco and Sam's, you use the boxes to, take things out.
Or your own bag. You have your own, reusable bags you take in there. You can use those, just like Aldi's, like Christy is saying. Exactly.
See, and we don't have Aldi's, so.
I like Aldi's. That's a nice little, saves you a lot of money at Aldi's on a lot of different things.
Yeah, I've been in Aldi's in West Virginia. They're nice.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty nice.
So, and the only other place like here was Cub Foods for a while, and you had to, not that you didn't have bags, but you had to bag your own groceries.
Right. Everett's got a good idea.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah.
Right. Smart. Exactly.
I mean, most of the ones I have are IKEA now because IKEA doesn't have bags. And if you're not wanting to just carry all your things out.
Oh.
Everybody's like, how do I get it to my car? I'm like, you put it back in the shopping cart and you push it to your car.
And then you throw it in your car.
Mom's like, if it's cold, I'm not going to stand at my car and bag it. I'm like, okay. So have a bin or something.
Right. Just have
like
something.
I'm saying, it's a convenience that we're super accustomed to.
Exactly. It is.
So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's California doesn't do bags, and I didn't know that until we got there for something for Kari. We got to Target, we had all these little things of groceries and stuff, and I'm like, she's like, we don't have bags. I'm like, excuse me. And there, the Target was in a mall, and the parking was in a parking garage, so it's not like you can just go out the front door,
right,
and be at your car. So she said, well, we have to charge you for a bag. I'm like, well, I think I need one today.
Think you're going to have to break down and bite the bullet.
Yeah, that too. Sandy, I agree. But then they're like, save one bag for meat and one bag for vegetables and one bag for frozen. And I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
And we'll buy washable bags. So if something spills, you can wash your bags. I'm like, this is just
too much.
Yeah. I will be taking the cartons off the shelf at Walmart. And then when they say, do you want the box? I'll say, yes, I do. I want to take it to my car in the box that you're going to throw away here.
Right.
Or I can throw away at home after I take my groceries in my house.
They're trying to sell that bag.
I know. Well,
they want that extra 10 cents a bag out of you.
I would say 10, 12 years ago, they really had a big push here for reusable shopping bags.
Oh, yeah.
And then everybody had them. Like they were giving them away for free, and they were everywhere. Anywhere you went, you got a swag bag with a reusable bag.
Yep.
And everybody had them all, and then nobody used them because they didn't have to.
Right. That's right.
So, I mean, I have a few that I use just for like, it's easier to just, grab a bag and throw a whole bunch of stuff in if I'm going to my mom's house.
Right.
Or instead of trying to like juggle it all in the car. So I'll throw it in a bag or throw it in a box and carry it in. So.
Yeah.
Right. The self-checkout too. That's a whole nother story.
I love self-checkout personally. That's I love it because I can get in and out and I don't got to wait. I just in and out.
But you do hear because they have so many self-checkout lanes that they only, like our neighborhood Walmart only has 3 manned cashier stands.
Oh, yeah.
Everything else is self-checkout. So you have to wait. And that's it too. During COVID, they wouldn't let you use any of those reusable things.
Oh.
I'm like, if you all want to, let's work on waste. How about we work on the delivery stuff, the takeout stuff, the styrofoam, and all the bags that you require the restaurant to put all the little pieces and stuff in.
Yes.
And it comes to you in a bag and a bag and a bag for that. Let's work on that because there's a whole heck of a lot more waste going on with the restaurants since COVID than there is at the grocery store.
Yeah, Sam's been that way here too. Sam's is bagless.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Costco and Sam's are bagless.
Yeah.
But they put all their boxes out for you to use.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So, and so does one other, like there's a warehouse food store, like it's called Shamrock or something. It's like for restaurants and things. And since I go for the lodge, they have all their boxes up at the front too. So you can use the box.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Keep stuff from rolling around in the car.
Right.
See, Christy, they tried that here at King Soopers, and which is one of our main food chains here, Kroger's.
I love that too.
And they stopped doing it. I think they had too much theft.
Oh, did they? Oh, yeah, but they're supposed to check your phone against what you got in the cart.
I understand that. See that you talk about self-checkout at Walmart the other day. They stopped everyone going out the door and wanted to check your receipt, whether you went through with a cashier or out the self-checkout. You can't get there with stuff in your hand unless you go through a cashier.
Right.
And then they want to check you besides. I'm like, I'm not. If I'm going to check myself out and I have to stand here and have you check that I check myself out, then I better be getting the employee discount next time I come through.
Becky's ready to fight them.
Well, it's ridiculous because they're just trying to cut so much cost.
Yeah, I know.
So
it is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I like brown paper bags when they were around, Edward. I did like that, though I know they're like that's a big waste now too. But I liked it.
Good night, Linda.
Handles, yes.
Yeah, and what do we have? What's the other one? Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
They have just a whole wall full of bags. And before so I'm wondering what do they consider a one-time use bag though? Because that's the whole thing is we use our bags for trash can liners, for the dog when we had a dog. And
that's what I use mine for. I save them. I mean, that's what I put in my little waste paper baskets.
Yeah, that's what I do too. But I mean, the only reason I throw them away is if they've had fruit or meat in them that has leaked coming home from the grocery store.
Wow. Yeah.
Or milk.
Yeah.
I don't want to use that again.
True.
So
those I'll just throw away. They put brakes on their shopping carts.
Yeah, they have ours has like a perimeter around the parking lot. And if they roll over the perimeter, it's like got a magnet system and it flips a brake on 2 of the wheels. So people can't take because we have the homeless people take the carts constantly.
Yes, they will. Interesting. What do I want with a cart? Well, yeah, the homeless people love the carts.
Homeless people take them all the time.
Or people who don't have a vehicle, they like to use them to go shopping and then they take it right to their house.
Because we have a lot of apartment complexes around the grocery store. So they would drive them across the street or whatever. And then they're like,
yeah.
oh, I'll bring it back when I go next time. But then they don't. I mean,
they don't.
some people would who are courteous, but the ones that
Very
don't
few.
mess it up for the rest of them.
That's exactly right.
And then there's a food bank and a thrift store for low income. And I was over there one day when the Colorado Springs cleanup crew was over there. They pulled a good 20 carts out from behind that
God.
building.
Wow.
Between Walmart and King Soopers.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because they just take them and then they just abandon them.
That's what I'm saying. People have no sense, they don't care.
And they cost what, a couple $100 a pop?
Well, yeah, I'm sure they do.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the first time I came across this was at an Aldi's. Do they lock your carts up at Aldi's?
Yes. You have to put a quarter in
in
order to get a card out. And then you put it back and you put it back in to get that quarter back out when you're done shopping. I think it's great. It kind of takes care of that problem of people taking off with it. And you don't have to worry about they don't have to pay an employee to gather up them carts and bring them back.
We need a cart roundup.
Right. How many times you heard that at Walmart and Kroger's over the holidays? No carts.
Sometimes I'd be like, it's not worth that quarter to walk back across the parking lot.
Keep your damn quarter.
I'll let some other person put it away and have my quarter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Occasionally, just it just depends, how hot it is, how tired I am, how far out I had to park.
Keep a quarter.
It's just a quarter.
Right.
Right. But it is an incentive to keep them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think what they came up with is a great idea. It works for them.
But us coming in from Colorado, we're like, what? Where are the carts? They're like, they're outside.
They're locked up. What?
And then I'm like, what?
Yeah. Where's your quarter?
I'm like, where's the key? Where's the key to get a cart out? They're like
they are not from around here. Right. I can see that.
You can see some of the creativity these homeless people do.
Yes.
That and the big laundry carts, because they have like those big 4-wheel, those things are made for going over curbs and everything.
Right.
They take those and make them into stuff. They got trailers, the wheelchair, they get like an automatic wheelchair from the Goodwill, and they got it hooked up with 3 more cart train behind them, and they're like driving down the road with this little, train of carts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, if you think about it, when they're homeless like that, that's their vehicle, basically. That's their whole life in these carts.
Oh, well, that's nice, Christy. If you forgot a quarter, they'll give you a quarter.
Oh.
I'm sure they make a little money on that whole cart scheme too. The employees can't keep the quarters when they put the carts away.
Scheme, Becky calls it.
So let's see. Since there's a lot of our members that are retired military, and even my sister-in-law up at the Air Force, like the commissary. They didn't allow you to bag your groceries, and they don't allow you to take them to your car. But you have to pay the person who takes them to your car.
Oh, wow.
So you have to tip them.
Wow. Yep. That's exactly why. Gee whiz.
So there's a whole weird thing with that too.
Yeah, that's strange to me.
I mean, I think at first it was meant to be a courtesy.
Yeah.
And people would tip, and then they're like, oh, well, if we don't let people do it, then
they have to tip us.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, and I don't think it should be a force, that you're forced to tip somebody because they won't allow me to take my own groceries to the car.
Yeah.
I mean, that would kind of merely tick me off, really.
The customer service aspect of all these things, though, is really wearing away.
Yeah, it is.
So.
Yeah, it is. It's really not there anymore. Customer service is not like it used to be.
Well, even I was in Goodwill, and the lady's like, I go to one cashier because she's super nice and she's funny, and she's like, well, do you want a bag? I said, yes, I want my free bag today. My bag, today's free bag I would like. As a matter of fact, I want one of those really big ones.
That's right. Right.
Because those are awesome for trash bags.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I think half of it is just so the stores can cut that cost
Sure.
out
That's what I
of
think it is.
the service that they're providing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I think for sure that's what it all entails, is cutting out that extra manpower,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm like, the gal at Goodwill, I said, just wait. I said, your theft is going to skyrocket in the next month.
Mm.
Because how are you going to prove what somebody bought before, what they're going to carry in their bag? And then, well, I brought it in with me. I just want to return it. So they're going to go pick something off the shelf. I mean, they're crazy like a fox. Those people that are figuring out any way to scam the system.
Yeah.
They're going to find a receipt, go in the store, put it in their bag, and walk up and say, oh, I brought it in with me. It's in my bag.
Yeah.
Or just carry it up front and say, well, you won't let me take it out in a bag, so how am I supposed to bring it back in a bag? People are just going to
figure out,
try and return stuff constantly that way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a big old thieving ring of stuff like that now.
Yes.
Especially at Walmart's.
Oh, jeez. Menards has the best bags. You bag everything separately. Well, quite honestly, that's where some of this problem is they have employees.
It's Delbert.
that don't care. I mean, at King Super, even at the grocery store or at Walmart, I'm like, you can load those bags up, put all the things in there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll double bag it for you. I'm like, I don't need it double bagged. Right. I'm going to put it in the cart to put it in my car. Mm-hmm. And I walk 10 feet from my door to my car to get it in the house.
Right.
If I had to walk home, that'd be a totally different story. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't need it double bagged. I don't need one thing to a bag. Just put all the things in one bag. Because they have employees that just like bag it. Here's 12 bags for your 5 items,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, that'd be nice. We don't have Menards.
Yep.
I've seen them, but I haven't been in one.
Growing your own food. That's a big thing.
Yeah. Oh, Caitlin's eggs are laying chickens.
Oh my God. It's a miracle. My gosh. Caitlin's soon to be famous.
Right? So they've got 12 chickens, and she said another 4 or 5 of them just started laying. So all of a sudden this week they got a dozen eggs. Where they're only getting 2 or 3, 4 or 5 a week. Now they've got a whole dozen this week. So
within a month, she's going to have more eggs than she knows what to do with.
Well, they're going to make $1 million because there's still $5 a dozen around here.
Are there?
Yeah.
That's good then.
I'm like, that's how much the organic ones used to cost, was $5 and $6 a dozen.
They were.
Now you can't even buy generics for $5 a dozen.
Oh my gosh, I know. That's ridiculous. Some places I've seen you actually can get the organic cheaper, to someone's home and getting them.
Mm-hmm. She's in that cold snap we had. One of them laid one outside.
Oh.
She said the whole egg was frozen all the way through, and it broke open the shell, and it was still solid frozen egg inside.
Right. Yep. So. That egg won't be having a chicken.
None of those eggs will be having a chicken. They don't got no roosters. But
right.
They're fine. I mean, they've had them for 6-8 months. They expected them to start laying a month or 2 ago. So
right. That's what I was going to say. I'm surprised they weren't. Because I had a friend that started her own little chicken farm too for laying eggs and stuff. And
that's another reason why I wouldn't have chickens.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. They do attract the snakes.
And that's why they got cats. So they can have outdoor cats like barn cats.
Yes.
To protect the chickens.
Yep.
And the varmints that come around. But Yeah, that's the one thing when we bought this house. The one and only clause said, no chickens.
Oh, you didn't
I
want
was
chicken?
like, okay.
Oh, they said you couldn't have chickens?
We don't have an HOA and we don't have any covenants,
Okay.
but it said no chickens.
Huh.
I was
Wow.
like, that was in the 90s, I'm like, I don't care if I have chickens. It was before this whole, micro
Right.
farming thing was coming back.
Yes.
So I'm like, not a problem. No chickens. All it would do would feed the hawks and the eagles and the coyotes and the foxes and
Yeah, I
the
mean, there's, yeah, if you know,
raccoons
yeah, that's true.
around here because we have all of it because we live between two mesas
Yeah.
with a major water source between the two of them. We have a major drainage ditch
Oh,
that goes between our backyard and the mesa right behind us, and then there's another mesa on that side.
yeah.
So yeah, it
Yeah, I
would not
think,
be wise to have chickens. It'd be just
well,
be like live bait waiting to see what would come and get it.
right, right. I was gonna say that's kind of like what it is like up home where I'm from, having chickens up there. You would have the foxes, you would have the raccoons, and the
Hmm.
snakes, of course, that wanted to come get them. But the main thing up there was the fox and the raccoon. They was the main ones, and they'll tear up a whole hen
Well,
house.
that's it. They lost our first batch of
Mhm.
chickens one night.
Yep, sure
12 of
will.
them, 10, 12 of them gone
Yep,
one night.
it'll kill them all.
So she went out to check on them and open it and went,
I'm
nope.
sure she was like, "Oh Lord, this
Yeah.
close."
She's like, I'll check on the chickens, but she's like, I ain't cleaning them up. They're not my chickens.
Right?
So, hmm well, I mean, and they have them in a coop, but there's something got in, something like pried open, one thing got in.
Yeah, I
So,
mean that's what I know. They used to have to put like the term chicken wire. That's what they used to use to really wire up the pens to
mhm.
keep the foxes and the raccoons out. And still, if there was even the slightest little spot, man, they would get
Yep.
in there.
Yeah, and that's why they were raising up the cats to be able to leave them out, be outdoor cats so they can come and go and stuff. But it's too cold and they're too young to really do it. So, right? Chicken is delicious.
Coyotes, yeah. Coyotes are a big thing here in
We
Georgia now.
we have had coyotes too.
Yeah. They
I
like running packs here sometimes, and then, they'll be trapping them and trying to do something with them.
I mean, we've seen everything here.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think there's anything here I haven't seen other than mountain lion. Haven't seen
We've had mountain lions where we've had the schools on lockdown, the elementary schools on lockdown because they've had a mountain lion sighted. So they won't let the kids out for recess.
Well, I would hope not. I would hope not, Becky.
The mountain lion sighting and the bears going through the dumpsters. They keep the kids inside for recess.
Good idea.
And
Great
we're
idea.
not even, I mean, we're not in the middle of nowhere. It's a big city.
Yeah, but we've moved into their cities. See, I
It's
mean,
just that it's a lot of our
cities.
houses are built in the bluffs and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've kind of taken over the animals, their home, basically.
Get pigeons. Oh, no. Yeah, exactly. Lions and tigers. We had a hawk all summer. We had him up in the tree right across the street. That she raised it, and I'm hoping he'll come back. But I don't know if they do that or not. But by the end of the summer, he would just sit at the top of the tree and just go, "Mom, mom, mom." I'm like, oh, you've been kicked out of the nest.
That's what
Haven't
it
you?
is. Yep.
Mhm. But yeah, we've had bears, deer, coyotes. We have mallard ducks because they're up and down the waterway.
Right.
There's a heron that comes occasionally with that.
Yeah.
All the birds,
Yeah.
all sorts of birds. Then raccoons, fox. The other one that's running around, the little one. The bunnies. We have bunnies now all of a sudden, which is really strange because we have a couple falcons and we had a screech owl for a while.
Wow.
I'm really surprised we have the bunnies, and we see squirrels all the time.
And then bunnies multiply quickly.
I know. One of them likes to be in my yard.
Yeah. You don't want the bunny in your yard?
I do.
You're like,
It
it
was
likes to
funny.
be in my yard.
Yep. So we've seen them all, and we watched one summer. We were coming home, and there was the mom raccoon was taking one baby out of the one side drain gate, walking him across the street, and putting him in the other one. Come back and get him. We pulled over on the side of the road and let the kids watch while she pulled them all out and took them to the other side. So you can really tell with that hawk, because he was.
Ma.
You could tell. We're like, what is he squawking about? And we're like, he must be because he's the yearling.
Yeah.
And mom and dad had flown the coop.
So that's it. We're out of here. You're on your own. Good luck.
But he would just sit on the top of the tree across the street. So, and I have a friend who bird watches. She's like, oh, I said, there's my hawk.
Yeah.
So
yes, we have those now around here. I love to watch the hawks. Love to watch them. What are you laughing about?
Oh, poor bunny rabbit.
That's until he bit my nip. Different. He got reowned. Well, at least he didn't eat it.
Right? Jeff's sister had a rabbit that was an indoor rabbit, and then she's like,
"Hey, Miss Pat,
we're gonna. Hi, Miss Pat. Are you finally off?"
I was gonna say.
Oh my gosh, that was a marathon.
Happy New Year's.
Yes.
Yeah, Becky was saying that you were still on when we were about to go on. I'm like, what? I seen it advertised this morning, or I think whenever your first advertisement was. I was like,
I think it started 11 Eastern.
Yeah, that's what it was. 11 a.m. Eastern.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, wow. So Jan talked her into doing another book sale.
And it said until ? And then when I moved the timeline thing and went all the way to the end, it was 9 hours and something, and they were still on. So
wow, that's a long sale.
And now she's here with us. Wow, Miss Pat.
Bless her heart. Just finished up almost 11 hours. Are you kidding me? Wow.
I mean, I'm in for the long haul occasionally, but it's been a while since we've done a long one.
Oh, yeah. My goodness.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
I mean, they were taking turns. They were taking long turns so that people could go and do something and come back. So,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I left for our Christmas and came back and they were still on. And then I watched some more and then I realized it was still the same one. And then I left and ate dinner and came back and they were still on before we got on. So I was like, woo-wee.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long sale. You got to be.
Hopefully it was good. Was it good, Miss Pat?
That's what I was thinking. Hopefully.
Have a lot of people. As long as it all goes back to the bathroom. As long as I can get up and go to the bathroom occasionally, I don't care.
That's right. Becky has to have that bathroom. Note to self: whatever you're going to do with Becky, we got to make sure restrooms are in the vicinity.
Right. Oh, see, so she was being productive. Miss Pat can multitask. Longest ever. I know. What I think with Jody, we were doing 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah. The longest I went with Jody was. When was that one night? We did 8 or 9. You was there, weren't you? Was you there?
I don't know.
I think so.
I need a little more than was you there to remind me.
Me, you, Jody.
It was just the 3 of us?
Yeah. And I think that, I want to say it was us 3. And we was
I mean,
such a good
I was
time.
on with her with Trisha one time until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But
it was me, you, and her.
I was like, I can't do this 3 o'clock in the morning stuff.
It does get, that will get to you selling, I'll tell you. Get tired.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. Well, I was shipping the whole time, so I was productive too. Well, the whole time I was watching, I had them on. I was shipping.
Wow.
So that's why I try and tell people, I'm like, hi, I'm here, but I'm shipping. So I can't chat all the time. Or I can't read the chat the whole time.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I think people really like the long ones because it's just like having somebody around to be able to talk to or have some other conversation going on, something in the background, just like we like watching them while we're doing something. So.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad that you got through it. Bless your heart.
You got the next one scheduled yet, Miss Pat?
Tomorrow?
It's gonna be a once a year thing.
Yeah. See, I guess so.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we did it again thing.
Right. Yeah, I was watching Jan the night when Miss Pat came on, and she goes, "I bet you can't guess what you were doing last New Year's Day," to Jan, and we were selling books. Let's do it again. And I'm like,
Yep.
Miss Pat, now you've been roped in.
Yeah, yep. Steph likes long ones too, but she's earlier than us, so
yeah,
it helps a lot to be Pacific time.
Definitely. I mean, especially when you figure they're starting at 10, like you start at 10. It's already.
Well, I start at 8 my time at least, so I know. I mean,
10 my time. I'm saying that's not right, Paul. I'm thinking 10 my time. It's 8 your time. By the time it gets midnight for you, if
it's 2 a.m. for you, I know.
It's 2 a.m. for us.
I know. Hi, Midge. How are you doing? Midge? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
So, yeah, I mean, I enjoy doing those things, but I can't do them.
Not every
week.
Yeah.
Or every month, quite honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly.
It's like back in the day when we used to do scrapbooking weekends. We'd start on like a Friday night and then come home Sunday afternoon, like late, like we get late checkout. And we would, and lots of people would stay up all night and scrapbook.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Well, it was, when everybody brought all their stuff and you would share, and it was fun to do scrapbooking like that.
Oh. Huh.
But I can't do it every week.
No. We did it on New Year's last year. Exactly. 3 hours on her channel. Took an hour break and 4 hours on Jan's. Yes. Yeah, and I remember that last year. I remember y'all going through that.
I bet you can hardly wait to invoice, can't you?
Right?
Man, I mean, and that's what my friend was like, "Are you sure you told me you were never going to do that 12 days again." And I'm like, "Well,
I'm going to do it." Yeah, I remember that too. I remember you saying, "I don't know if I'm going to do this next year, guys. I'll be honest with you." I'm like, I should be doing it.
Well, but I mean, I had a 30-some hour power outage in the middle of it last time.
Yeah, it had a lot going on. You had a cold.
And I was sick
right.
for a couple days.
Right, I remember that.
So I think we ended up with a chat those 2 days.
Yeah.
So it was a little that way. But even this time, I've learned a few other things. I'm like, I should be, I'm like, as I'm going through, as I'm organizing it, like my organization, like where I'm separating everybody's stuff, that went better because I just did it from the beginning.
Yep.
And then when I started doing invoices, I'm like, I should just be making a draft. And then as that person comes up, even if it doesn't make it to the price, to $20, it's already in, and I don't have to go back and find them.
Right.
To see who haven't I invoiced yet. Just make an invoice for all of it, whether it's a draft or sent off.
Yeah.
And then add to it and send it off, and add to it and send it off. It would have been much easier. So, but I feel like I go into really super OCD because I don't want to miss anything, especially now that I'm putting it in a box.
Right.
So yeah, so I went through everything to make sure it was on the invoices, and now I'm double, triple checking it, making sure everything was paid for. And then when I pull it to ship it, I'm going through and making sure everything is out for me to put in the box. So there's a lot of repetition with that.
Right. That's true. Check and double check.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you make sure you've captured everything.
Mm-hmm. And there are a few lists that I could make along the way, instead of just doing it at the end.
Exactly.
Too, so that it's a cumulative.
Yeah.
For checking it off, then I wouldn't miss any days, because there's been a couple I'm like, oh, they have something in their bin from another day that I don't have written down.
Right.
So I did that today. I pulled the next one to do, and I had a whole day's worth that I didn't add to the weight for shipping. So I'm going to eat probably $4 or $5 on that one because I missed it when I added the shipping together to do the estimate. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to bill them another $4 for something I missed.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
They're going to eat it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yep.
So sometimes you get $1 under, $1 over, and it all, for me, it all eventually evens out.
It will.
And then, then I'm not charging anybody if I undercharge,
That's right.
Undercharged them. But if it's a significant overcharge, $3, $4, $5, I usually will keep a note to myself, and then on the next invoice I get, say, you get a $3 credit for previous shipping, and
Right.
previous shipping overage.
Sandy, like, was it mine?
No, and it wasn't Sherry's either, because Sherry won the free shipping. So
That's funny.
No. Somebody else asked me, they're like, so are you going to hold them longer so we can add more sales to it? I'm like, no.
No, not doing that.
I mean, if I had unlimited space, or I had, a whole nother shelf that I could just put bins in and have a space that I could keep things that were sold, and then as soon as it fills up, send out a box, that'd be one thing. But that's a lot to keep track of. And you're keeping invoices open and spreadsheets open for months that way.
I was going to say, it's kind of hard. Now, I did that with the Christmas sales I was doing, and that's kind of hard to keep that open that long.
Right, MJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was really super convenient because I got to see my kid at the same time.
Right.
I don't mind those kind of deliveries. Somebody else in this room is going to get a delivery.
Thank you.
It's going to take up half of my van, but it's going to get delivered.
But you're going to get a delivery too. Let's not forget that. Someone in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandy, I'm working on it. I got a few people. I got an invoice.
Well, it's not too bad if you spread it out a little bit, because that's the other thing. I'm not too terribly concerned if somebody doesn't with these big orders like this. If you're not paying me within the 48 hours, it's okay. Right. Especially if you're telling me, hey, by the end of the week I'll get it to you. I'm like, great, because I can't ship it all at once anyway.
Right.
And eventually I'll get to the point where I get to the end and go, hey, there's an open invoice, and send somebody a reminder. It's not me saying, how come you haven't paid me? It's
right.
I'm now to the point of the list where it's your turn for me to address you.
Right. I've now got to you.
Mm-hmm. And I have only in the last year, I canceled 1 or 2 invoices.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was only one. One, it went on back and forth for 2 months, and she's like, oh, well, I just didn't get it. Well, you're wondering where your stuff is,
Yeah.
Communicate with me and say, hey, where's my stuff?
Exactly.
This lady, I don't know what happened, but I sent her message after, I sent her email. She's like, I'm so excited to get this piece. Here's my information. And nothing. I sent her an email and said, and it's nobody that we see on a regular basis.
Right. That's usually what it is too.
And I'm like, if you're so excited about it, why aren't you answering any of my emails then?
Right.
I finally just said, if it's not paid by this date, I will cancel it, because I'm going to close out the end of December.
Yeah.
I'm not carrying an open invoice 2 months into the next year.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yep. I've had to do that. I've had to close, I've given them chance after chance after chance. And I'm like, at least communicate and tell me what's going on. Yeah. What do you need to do? I'll work with you. It's not like I won't work with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not a dang word.
Yeah, Sandy, I don't look through mine anymore. Like I'm my own. If it sounds like around the value that I think it's supposed to be, I'm just like, pay.
Right.
I don't either, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. It's a great surprise then when you get a box in the mail.
Sure is. You're
like,
right, oh, I forgot about that.
That 10-pound box that got your way before Christmas.
I'm like, oh, wow, that's right. I bought this and this. I done forgot about it.
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, I think I can stick that in there and this in there.
You did great packing all that. That was perfect. So, you got everything in there you could possibly get in there.
Well, I was going to make it well worth its while making the trip.
Well, you did.
So, yeah. I mean, that's the double-edged sword of buying online. So, I mean, I think people are more used to paying shipping now.
Yeah.
After COVID.
Yes.
I'm fine with combining it if it's something close time wise to each other, or for sure if it's glass, if it won't go in the same box because of the safety of the item, I won't do it.
No, I won't either. No.
But
sometimes it's just not worth taking that chance to.
Yeah.
It's like I want to make sure you get it in one piece, you know.
Yeah,
too.
it's like Amazon. They're like, would you like to save $5 if we combine 2 boxes and you get it 2 days later? I'm like, no.
Yeah, it depends on what it is, but if it's something breakable, no, I don't. I'd rather not. I'd just rather pay the extra.
Yeah, well, yeah. I have one. I got a box from Eric that I have to go put a claim in on because it came broken. Yeah.
That stinks when you got to do that.
I probably won't hear for forever, but if I don't start the claim, I'll never hear from it. So
this is true. That's right.
We'll see. So, but
the shipping, as far as the shipping costs, Sandy, that's what you mean? Or shipping items?
Shipping. Like the safety of the items or the cost of it?
That's what I was wondering. What's she talking about?
Yeah. I mean, because for me, it's always been like on eBay, I would always add in the shipping for the item, the cost of the item to compare things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to buy a $10 item with $6 shipping or a $6 item with free shipping. I would, compare them that way. I just consider the shipping part of the cost of the item.
Right.
So, shipping items altogether.
Oh.
See, but I've been doing it for so long now, especially with glass. It's been over 3 years. So.
Yeah. I was going to say, I've only had one thing that broke, and actually it shouldn't have broke. But, sometimes they don't treat the boxes the best. So you can only do what you can do as far as wrapping everything, putting your bubble wrap in there and all that, and hope for the best. Just put insurance on it just in case.
I mean, and that's the whole thing. I know that they don't like to quickly resolve claims because it's money out of their pocket. But if we're paying for insurance, that's the reason we're paying for insurance.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
What's the point of having it $100 included in insurance if it's not going to be beneficial when they break our items?
Exactly.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand too, is that as soon as it leaves my hands, I'm not responsible for it anymore.
Yeah.
It becomes their property.
Yeah.
Until it arrives on your porch.
Right.
The USPS is responsible for it. And that's why they put shipping on or insurance on everything.
True.
We had somebody a month ago say, "Where's my package?" I'm like, I don't know. Did you check your tracking on your PayPal? Somebody from Facebook.
Oh.
He said, well, it was supposed to be delivered May 16th or May 18th. And I was like, this is October.
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me?
Well, she said, well, you need to find out where it is. I'm like, no. And I looked it up and it said that they tried to deliver it. They left them a note and told them to reschedule their delivery. And they never did. I'm like, not my problem if you didn't reschedule your delivery.
I wonder what they do with this stuff. They don't send it back to you then, huh?
It hasn't been sent back yet. And she's like, you need to request for it to be returned to sender. I'm like, why? It says you're supposed to do the next step, not me.
Right.
So, but it is what it is. And I don't know. I don't know if we've requested it back because that's got Barb's address on it. So she's the one who has to request it. So, because you can't even pick up a package. Like I drop it off and then they're like, are you this? I said, no, I'm dropping it off for, my business partner, for lack of a easier term for people to understand. And, and they're like, well, we can't tell you anything about it. I'm like, okay. Huh. Got her name on it. She has to do all the inquiring about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we haven't had to have one for a long time, but we've had one that's been sitting in UPS for 5 months.
Wow.
And then this other one we need to request even a location on. And then, but that's still hundreds of packages.
Yeah.
Because I'm on like over 1,000 invoices just for this year. So.
Yeah.
It's not
Sure.
too bad. So.
Oh, wow. Really?
Wow.
Gee whiz.
For request. Wait. Oh, I read 2 different things together. She returned to her in November. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I would prefer to not have to be present.
To receive it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that to somebody unless it's something really expensive
Yeah.
that, it has to be pretty expensive before I would say, hey, you got to be
Well,
there to
and
sign.
that's it. This one that was sent out was like an $800 value.
Oh,
And she's like, well, I wouldn't care about it if it weren't for such a high value of an item. Well, then I would have looked into it more than 6 months
I
after
was
the
going to
fact that it
say,
was supposed to be delivered.
yeah, that sounds a little fishy to me,
Mm-hmm.
for coming back now. For that kind of money, unless you were really rolling in the dough, you'd be looking for this item, wouldn't you?
You would think.
Yeah.
So.
Too much scam requests.
Yeah. Well, and Barb has a problem with delivery because her house is set back like a quarter mile from the road.
Mm.
And they don't want to go up her driveway and drop off a package.
So they just drop it at the beginning?
Yeah.
Of the driveway?
Which is basically the ditch between the road and her property. So you don't know who's going to pick it up.
Exactly. Anybody can take it then.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We don't have much problem in our neighborhood with people picking up stuff. To the point where I was like, oh, did we get a package? We're supposed to get a package 2 days ago.
Right.
And Jeff's like, we're on vacation. And he's like, oh, I didn't check the mail today. I thought we should probably check the mail, see if it's in the mail.
See if it's in there.
Like crammed them in.
Right.
I'm like, great. Well, they're in the mailbox at least.
Yeah, it's stuffed in there.
Mm-hmm. So
they will throw your packages in the nearest cow pasture anywhere. Well, goodness. I don't have any problems with FedEx. I have more trouble.
I've seen them, the videos of them throwing them over a fence and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah. I was like, my God, it was a TV. They chucked it.
Right? And then you see the ones of them like shoveling the walk and bringing the package up and being super nice. So
yeah. Huh. Yeah,
I like it when they leave a
pic,
like they take a picture of it and say it's delivered. Here it is.
Exactly. I like that too. Amazon does that mainly.
Mm-hmm. I think FedEx does occasionally too.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had my mail lady. I would take it, schedule a pickup for the following day. It's going to be on the porch. How many packages? Here's the approximate weight. Blah blah blah. Everything.
Yeah.
That you have to fill out, for them to pick it up.
I've never done a pickup.
You never have?
I just take it to the post office.
Oh well, I don't. I have them pick it up. So because Good
night, Miss Pat. Sleep well.
Good night, Miss Pat. Oh, thank you. Sorry I didn't stop by today. I'm sorry.
That's
okay. Yeah.
There's 9 to 10, 11 hours worth you can rewatch.
This is true. You're right. I could, but I won't.
So you scheduled a pickup.
But yeah, this has happened to me like 3-4 different times from the same mail carrier. I would take and schedule a pickup, set the packages out. She would just go by, not even bother to pick them up, right? And they get notified that morning before they start out.
Yeah.
What they're supposed to pick up. Well, the first couple times, first 2 times, I never reported her because I'm like, okay, maybe she got busy, she forgot, whatever. So then when I asked her about it, I confronted her. I was like, hey, I had, a pickup and you didn't pick it up. Oh, well, I didn't get it. The machine's been messing up, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, okay. All right. So I'm like, okay, it's possible. So I let it go. Well, then it kept happening. Every so often I noticed she'd just drive right by. Wouldn't even stop and pick them up.
Well, it's not like here, if you put them out on the street, anybody will pick them up.
Right. Well, you can't put them out on the street.
Even if it's right next to the mailbox.
Yeah, I couldn't do that anyhow because somebody would definitely pick them up. Yeah. So I put it on the porch. That way they can pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman, I swear, the first time I reported, I was so mad with her because it was like, my gosh, she's just being lazy. I mean, that's all it is to it. She's just being lazy, not picking them up. And then I told her, I said, look, the next time I run into her out there, I was like, I called them because you didn't pick up my packages. Well, it's not my fault. It's our machines. I said, and that's not my fault. You need
Not
to
my
go
fault.
to them to get whatever you need fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I put in for a pickup, I got deadlines I'm trying to meet. Mainly it was eBay stuff.
Yes.
You can't even get I couldn't get my credit of being a 1-day shipper because you're not picking it up in the 1 day.
Yeah.
Right. She still didn't. On this past Christmas time, there was 2 days that I scheduled 2 days in a row because the first day she missed it, second day she didn't do it. I contacted him and said, look, this is like the 5th time I've reported this lady for this same problem this past year. No one's doing anything. I put out a lot of packages to be picked up. There's no reason in the world for her to just go by and not pick. She's being lazy. She's not doing her job. Plain and simple. I don't know what you're going to do with her, if anything. We'll see.
Well, we caught the guy once because we were putting packages in the car to drop them off, and he was just coming by to drop off mail. We're like, can we give these to you? He's like, sure. And he took them and like 2-pointed them in the truck.
Oh, yeah.
They're all glass. I'm like, oh, why are you throwing them in the truck? He's like, well, they'll drop further than that when they get on the belts. I'm like,
yeah, that's what you gotta know. You got to make sure you wrap them good. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, because they don't, some of them, as the boxes that look like they've been ran over or they've been kicked to pieces. Sometimes
they have something else like 20 pounds drop on them. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes you wonder how they get there in one piece sometimes, I swear.
Yep. So, but it's still a pretty good system considering. So
considering it's still a great system, really, if you just would get, I mean, because if you think about all the packages they do deliver, and they have to handle and process, I mean, there's a lot there they do. I know that.
I wish they wouldn't do this whole seasonal rate increase though, because it's them taking advantage of a higher volume time of year.
Exactly.
And quite frankly, it's keeping USPS in business, all this e-commerce stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
that's exactly what it's
we have more packages to deliver. I said, well, yeah, it's called job security.
Right, exactly. And you keep getting your money on all these stamp prices. You keep increasing.
Yeah.
For the love of God. 65 cents.
I know. I always put one of my little stickers like that on my labels. And one day I dropped off one with the girl at the counter because I needed to ask another question. And she's like, oh, I see a lot of these packages coming through. What kind of business do you have? You guys are doing a good business.
Oh, there you go.
I'm doing okay. It's interesting that somebody else would just notice it just from the sticker on the label.
Yeah, that is.
So I was like, wow. I'm like, I don't know. Just why don't you look me up on YouTube?
That's right. Check me out sometime.
Yeah. But oh man.
Yep. Well, we've been on here for a while now, Becky.
I know. We are not pulling a Miss Pat, Jan, and Trisha. That is for sure.
No, we're not. No.
I got stuff scheduled for tomorrow, including more packages to be shipped. Speaking of.
Right. Speaking of
I'm probably going to have to take 2. I don't know. I can probably fit it in the car. That's not.
Now, are you having a sale Tuesday or no? You don't have a sale
Tuesday. Taking this Tuesday off.
That's right. You're off this Tuesday. Okay.
So my first Tuesday back will be the 10th, I believe.
Okay.
Because that would be the 3rd, right? 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So the 10th would be the second one.
Let's see.
So my first Tuesday back will be the 10th. Just so I can be down for a few days after I get everything out.
Yeah, the 10th is the first Tuesday after this week. Yeah, after tomorrow. Or keep saying tomorrow.
Because starting the month on a Sunday, man, you're just hitting it running.
Yeah, true.
So
that's true. All right. Well, good.
Okay.
Well, at least you'll maybe you can get a chance to get all your shipping caught up and be done, and maybe you can rest a little bit.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be done with the next 2 days for
Yeah.
sure. Between getting it out and getting it to the post office. So
Right.
just got to make sure. I'm going to have to take 3 or 4 trips into the post office. We have one just right across the street from us, basically. It's just right out of the neighborhood across the main street.
That's
And
good.
it's really close. So it's really not, you're going to go, if I go to Goodwill, it's half a mile from there. So it's like
Oh,
on the way. It's not a
that's,
problem. It's convenient. So
that's nice. Yeah, to have it close like that. That's great.
yeah. So
If I
I'm
had
like,
more time, I'd actually probably take mine in. But see, my post office is like by the time their working hours of being open and closed doesn't
yeah.
fit in my work
You
schedule.
people live different hours than I do.
Yeah, I guess so. You people. You people live different hours. You crazy people.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I leave the house around noon,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
go
Yeah.
run my errands, and try and be home before it's dark in
Well,
the
that's
winter.
nice. Yeah.
So just to be out in the sunshine for a little bit.
You're like, oh, I've got my vitamin D
Mm-hmm. Now and then I'm like, then after dinner, I'm like, oh, I got like 4 more hours to ship before I go to bed. It's not a problem.
in. Right. Which is nice. That's
Hmm.
nice
But
too.
if I do it too late, I get too tired, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to make those kind of mistakes.
Right.
So then I'm
True.
like, I'll just do it in the morning.
Yeah.
So it all
Yes.
gets done. Oh, they close at noon?
I was going to say, what?
You
During
must
the
live
week?
in a small town.
Every day, Sandy? Now, mine closes at noon on Saturdays. They close at noon.
Mine closes at 12:30 on Saturdays.
Yeah.
But there's other locations in town that are open different hours on Saturdays.
Oh,
I mean, it's like 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, and then 8 to
no.
12:30.
Yeah, they close at 4 here of the evening.
Very small, yeah.
Very small. Hmm.
Well, that's what Steven was saying. Somebody else was saying, well, they're only open like 4 hours a week. I'm like,
Dang.
all right. But you know what? You got a bin, like you can, because ours, even if the post office is closed, you can walk in and roll down that big drawer and put in a couple of 12
You
by 12
can.
boxes
You can, but if
until
that's
the bin is
full,
full.
till it's full, and then you can't put anything in it.
Nope.
So that doesn't help.
Yep.
Because
Or
everyone
the
else is
outside one, if your stuff is, narrow enough to fit in that one.
exactly
But
right.
apparently people been reaching in and grabbing
Take
stuff
them
out
out.
of that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's one other spot inside that's a smaller bin that you can put small flat packs in.
Huh.
But until that one gets full too.
Yeah.
So usually it's not a problem on the weekend until you get to like late Sunday night. So I'm like, well, just, I'm not going to take them on those days.
Right.
And just take them in on Monday, because ours has a dedicated counter where we can just set down pre-postage
Oh,
packages,
yeah.
and they'll just scan them in when they have time, when they don't have a line.
Huh.
So I just walk right past the line,
And
put
they're
all
like,
my
what does she
packages
think
on the
she's doing?
counter,
She's cutting the
and
line.
walk out.
Well, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they don't. That's better for them, because then their bins don't get so full,
True.
and they're not emptying their bins constantly. And then when there is actually a lull, it doesn't matter. The best times to go to the post office here are when it's raining or snowing, because people are like, oh my gosh, it's raining, I can't go to the post office.
What?
I'm like, okay,
All right.
no
Then I'll know
lines
it.
for me. 15 miles away. Wow. Yeah. Well, I live in a big city, so
Yeah.
but Colorado went to a central processing.
Oh.
We used to have our own sorter here in Colorado Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So they could pre-sort it and then send it places.
Yeah.
No, everything in the entire state now goes to Denver,
Mm-hmm.
and then leaves. So if we're shipping something in town, it goes from Colorado Springs up to Denver, back to Colorado Springs to be delivered.
Isn't that stupid?
Stupidest
I mean, I don't know where they make
process.
up this stuff,
I don't either. They should be able to sort out local area codes and not send it to Denver.
I mean, my God, you're the mail system.
It would save money. Imagine that.
Huh. Well, it doesn't matter when they can just bump up the stamps every so often,
right?
get their money back.
But they have delivered a few things pretty fast. I have things that I've dropped off like 2:00 in the afternoon, and they were delivered to Greeley the next day by 2:00, which means it went up to Denver, sorted out, and went out for delivery the next day. And Greeley's another 2 hours north of Denver.
Wow.
So I've had things go through really fast occasionally.
That is pretty fast, yeah.
So just depends.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, I have something that somebody was supposed to send to me off of like Mercari or Posh, and it's never ever arrived. And they said that it was on some hold shelf at your local post office. I'm like, I pretty much think you just flat out didn't send it.
It's on a hold shelf. It's on a hold shelf.
And so they're at the. I like showed them the message, and they're like, "We don't have a hold shelf." I'm like, "I'm very well aware of that." I think they're just making it up, but
yeah, probably
goes through Tulsa and then goes back.
It's back this way.
The waste of time and energy and money.
It's a waste of money, big time. That's a big waste of money.
Yeah, they need some. Well, yeah, they need
they
some.
They can figure it out if they wanted to.
They sure could.
Yeah, they just
like the Southwest mess.
What the heck's going on Southwest? What is that about?
They just got messed up with that big storm, and they said their model, their model for how they schedule everything is older. And then they had to catch back up with people and planes being in the right place at the right time to catch back up with the schedule. I'm like, y'all need some better logisticians.
Something. I mean, come on.
Yep. So, but
I mean, everybody else figured it out.
Yeah. No, we're going to investigate them. It's just an old system.
It's an old system.
But it's a lot of moving parts. If you think of, all the staff and the pilots and the whatever they call the stewardesses now and planes and luggage people and all that stuff to be at the right place at the right time for all those different scheduled flights, especially when, this guy goes way over here and this plane can't leave without him till he gets back over there. And he's still over here because he couldn't get here to get there in the first place. So it's a mess.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah.
Yeah, that is messy. Yeah, I kept hearing something about him, but I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it.
My friend Kathleen was out in California. They were supposed to be back sometime during the day, but they got back on the same day, but later.
Yeah.
At first, they thought it was going to be a day or two extra, but it wasn't as bad. And then my nephew, they were supposed to fly out on Wednesday, and they canceled their flight, and they couldn't get another one, and they had to be to work by Friday. So they ended up renting a car and driving back to Texas.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that's when it's bad, when it's so screwed up that you end up having to get a rental to drive yourself. You can't take
15 hours, 15, 16 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. My goodness.
Yep. So. But. All right. Well, I think I need to be close to done. So.
I think we've talked everything out. We can start talking. We keep on going.
I know. So next Sunday, right?
Yep, next Sunday.
Because I'm off on Tuesday.
Right.
And we'll be back on Sunday.
You are back on Sunday? Okay.
Right?
I'm going to be here, yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't know if you were. I didn't know what your plans
were. January and February are pretty chill, so.
Okay. And
then I'll be back on the following Tuesday. Other than that, I think that's kind of the plan.
That's the plan. And then we're going to do the one time a month chat on your channel. Since you can invite people in, is that right?
Yeah, we can invite people in. You can invite people in up to 4 or 6.
Okay. Well, I mean, however you want to do it then.
It doesn't matter to me. We can talk about it more and figure out, because we probably just need to look at the schedule for sure, too, to make sure that the dates and days align up for what in case there's something else on there. So.
Okay. All right.
But
all right, we'll figure it out.
Well, thank you, Sandy.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it'll be my first Tuesday off in a whole year.
I was going to say, because Becky doesn't take off, so I know she goes.
I think it's fun to do it on the road. So
yeah, she enjoys it very much so.
I wouldn't do it if it weren't fun.
Right. Right. Which is, makes sense too.
Yep. So
all right. Well,
all
we're going
righty
to say
then.
goodnight, everybody.
So we'll see you in a week.
Yep. See everybody in a week.
All right.
Thank you all for being here tonight.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Good night.
Good night.